If we bet on Sam Houston State today, whether it wins the squad route or not, but if we bet on Sam Houston State today and they don't cover and they don't win, I will buy a Sam Houston State jersey and wear it for a week on stream, looking like a fucking idiot. Yeah, he's a moose shit coach. He's a terrible coach. Get Ron Rivera out of here. I'm not even saying to hand the keys over to Mahenemy yet. All I'm saying is this is not our head coach. This is not a winner. This is not our guy. Listen up. All right, take a little mental screenshot of this one. Boop. Give me the Ravens laying 3. Come on, it's got to be Baltimore must play here. They're winning this game big. It's going to be an under game. They're going to be running the shit out of the ball, and they're going to win this game by 5+, maybe 10+. I mean, if you have to listen to Jameis Winston for advice on the sidelines during a game, that's probably when you got to hang him up and maybe go with a different game plan here, Javon, because if he's seeing something that Derek Carr and the coach aren't, that's an issue to me.
That's just Jimmy Butler activities now. I just don't know if I can click a square and just say, you know what? I'm going to go to the grave with Jimmy Butler today when I see that cut, that profile.
I'm watching them rock down. Brand new bag with Pro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying to savor it.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL episode 345 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon, presented by Pickett Sports. If you guys aren't using Pickett Sports to track your bets, what are you doing? Grow up, figure it out. Okay, you're living in the Stone Age. You might as well be a caveman with your manual slips. Okay, lock in a Pickett, go track your bets, go track your action, and see what the public's on before you nuke a play. Maybe save some coins. Okay, Javon, how we doing on this Thursday?
Fantastic.
Good. Sure. Chats, we're bummed. No BTL tomorrow, but we figured we'd run a little mega ep today. Tomorrow's a travel day for the squad as we head down to Atlanta for the Prize Picks World Championships. Very excited about that, Javon. We can show the people what we've got crafted up for that. But first, let's go over the W squad ride from yesterday. Don't let the Wizards overs get hot. It might be too late, Javon. My goodness. Is it as simple as just taking overs in Wizards games? It might be, folks. It might be. Yeah, they don't play a lick of defense, no defense needed, and they put up plenty of points. They scored late in that game to make it weird, make it close, kind of, at least competitive, and shoot us over the over there for a nice little late cash. W squad rides. How about the NBA sharps on here?
Sure. There we go. W's. We love it.
251. That's plenty of points. I'm no mathematician, but that shit's sort of. Okay, W's. We'll go over the W recaps here from yesterday. I don't know if we have the best bets up. If not, though, we can just show the people the Prize Picks entry that we crafted up for the World Comp here. W's chats. I hope you guys tuned in yesterday to the craft sesh. And we could probably zoom in here a little bit to show you guys the plays. If you haven't seen them yet already, we got Lamar. We got Marquise less than. We're going LT, more than 3.5 receptions. We got Dobbs at 3.5 receptions. I saw his yards got bumped up yesterday. I freaking bet Javon. We've got Godwin and Rashad White more than a touchdown there on the ground or receiving. Maybe we'll get a Rashad White receiving tutty that we've been looking for the last couple of weeks here, Javon. And then Geno Smith getting those legs loose. He's going to need to against that Ravens D-line. My goodness, start scrambling now, Geno. You're going to need to be doing a lot of that on Sunday. I'm liking this 6-piece.
I'm liking it a lot. Yeah, you've already seen it. We're getting the Rashad White touchdown early in the game. Just set the tempo for everything. Then everything else just happens to fall in place.
100%. And chat, you guys know the drill. If you haven't joined yet, we'll put the link right here in chat. It literally takes 30 seconds to join, okay? And what you get out of it, well, first off, Trent's giving away $500 every day if you join and put your little, confirmation email under his tweet. So go to his Twitter and check that out if you want to win $253. He's doing 2 giveaways today. And also, make sure you guys join our team because we're going to win you a $2,000 free entry. That's what we're going to do. Nobody else in this fucking comp is in the lab grinding, putting together entries, a couple days prior, absolutely as locked as we are. Nobody else is doing that. Come on, folks. Join our team. I'm going to make sure that Trent fully fades our entry before we get down there to Atlanta this weekend. I promise it's coming. I will make sure that he locks in a full fade for the vibes. Okay, we need it. We'll get it. And then we're going to get a full sweep on our 6-piece this weekend. Make sure you guys tail that as well. Okay? W's. Javon, how about the Snakes, man? Snakes are dead. What a good run, I will say. Very exciting. The Diamondbacks remind me a lot of the Nats, although they couldn't close like we did. And not many teams can. That's an underdog story of a generation, in my opinion. The Snakes could not close it out. Javon, I'll bring it back to what I've been talking about the last week or so. with the Snakes. Their one edge is aggression and speed on the base paths, and they get into the World Series, and all that goes away. The one thing they're good at, their one edge, Javon, speed on the paths, stealing bags. They weren't doing any of it. And then you saw them collapse the last 2 nights with 2 big errors, right, that cost them some runs in those games after, perfect defense pretty much the whole series from both teams. They just didn't have enough juice to keep up with the power of the Rangers, and they showed that last night. Texas was due. Happy for Lauren to get her first World Series ring there. W's for Texas. Now I think there's only 5 teams left that haven't won a World Series, Javon. But what were your thoughts on both these 2 teams, the Rangers and Max Scherzer? My guy, get another ring. Sure.
Yeah, there you go. It was pretty impressive. It was, of course, refreshing to see, I guess, multiple runs of the World Series that didn't involve all the Super Corp teams like the Astros, Dodgers, Yankees, whoever it may be. So, this was a pretty cool World Series to see. I will say, though, just for overall scope of the game, I hate that the Rangers won.
Oh.
I hate that the Rangers won, and I wanted the D-backs to win for one reason, and that's because this is going to perpetuate the problem with baseball of a salary cap, because the Rangers just came in and dumped $800 million and won a championship the next year as a low market team, fan of a low market team. That is disastrous, because everybody's going to do that now, and that's the formula that we kind of got away from for a couple of years, and now we're right back to it. So homegrown talent is pretty much gone. But it was cool to see it run. It was really impressive that they did it without a handful of those guys throughout the season, like DeGrom. And then obviously we got to the World Series and they were without Scherzer for the back end of it, which they really didn't need him for at Dolis. That was one of the most dominant postseasons I've seen since I watched Randy in the postseason in the COVID year. So, this team was firing on all cylinders at the right time. So it was a pretty cool run to see. And same for the Snakes on the other side. It was really weird to see their bullpen come together throughout the playoffs after we targeted them time after time again throughout the world or the regular season. So, both these teams just found a way for so long, and the Rangers did it for just a little longer.
100%. It was too much power, too much pop to overcome for the Snakes. And who does deserve some respect, though, on the Snakes, though? It's Ginkel. I will say Ginkel went out there and pitched his heart out this whole freaking postseason. Javon, over 10 innings, 0 runs. Ginkel's going to arbitration this offseason. I'm sure he's going to go get a bag for himself, and he deserves it. How about Ginkel? Where did he come from? I don't know. But, his slider was just completely dropping off the table this entire postseason, even last night with them losing. He went in there and shut the door when he had to. Unbelievable run. And then, Seawald finally, regressed. And we saw him get mashed there in the last inning. And that kind of sums up the whole series, right? Snakes were in it. And then, Rangers and their power just pulled away. Too much talent on that team. And a team like that with a top 5 salary cap should pull away and beat the Arizona Diamondbacks. And they did.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Did. Yep. All right, W's. Let's keep moving and grooving here. Javon, rumor has it we're playing each other in fantasy football this week. People are talking.
Yeah.
Sure. Take a peek at this list. We'll zoom in a little bit here for the people, Goots. I don't know if they can see that. You can start at the top. I know it's okay. It won't show the whole team, but we got Team Himothy, who I believe is sitting at what, 2 and 6?
Yeah. It's been a great season so far for the boys.
Not doing much better. I'm at 3 and 5. I drafted pretty much everybody who was suspended or hurt to start the season. And then the rest of my team, guys who were playing, all got hurt. And now we're here and just scraping by. Probably need to win out to make the playoffs. But, chat, what are we thinking here? Looks like the ESPN projections have us at about 50-50. He's got Stroud. I got a couple banged up starters there with Allen and Mixon, but I think they'll both play. Who's winning this matchup, chat? Who do we think's getting this done? I've got Kamara. You've got Henderson. You're lucky as heck you get to play him one more time this week. Or 2 more times, I guess. But, man, Kamara's been a fantasy goat. Cup is not going to be as useful this week, that's for sure. I like Zay Flowers, but you got some pretty good guys as well. CeeDee Lamb, Smith as well. And then I got a questionable Logan Thomas. Should we be worried about Logan Thomas's heel, Javon?
Probably wouldn't unless he doesn't practice today, which I don't see happening.
Yeah, and you got Puka as well. So me having Cup, you having Puka kind of cancels out there with probably no Matt Stafford this week. It's going to be close. It's going to be close, chat. But, yeah, hopefully Kamara sells this week. I wouldn't even be mad if he did because every other person in the Prize Picks World Championship had Kamara in their entries. So if he goes down, it's okay. I'll bite the bullet there and take one for the team, Javon, if I got to lose to you in fantasy and give you that 3rd win. Okay?
Yeah, this is the you are playing me without the heart of my team, though, which is kind of tough. I guess.
Who's your heart? Who's your blue guy?
Sam Laporta.
Oh, no
he's on
Laporta
bye
this week on a bye. That's huge.
He's on bye. And I mean, I still haven't made full decisions with which receivers I'm going with because I have Amari Cooper, Nico Collins, and Tyler Lockett all on the bench.
Oof.
So I don't
Tough
know.
decisions,
I guess
man.
Devontae Smith is probably one that's in question, and we'll see. Make sure if Puka plays, but I haven't made full decisions yet. We'll see what we go with.
Yeah, I mean, if Matt Stafford
Sam
doesn't
Laporta
play, you
marinating.
might be looking to replace Puka anyways.
Yeah,
right?
that was what I was saying. I don't know what I'm going to do there, but we'll see. I also have Deshaun on the bench, which is unfortunate. I thought he was going to come back this week. So I have no choice but to start CJ Stroud, who I don't believe in the slightest this week.
Okay. Yeah, people are asking you. Javon's Milk's asking you, your guy in chat, saying, why are you starting Stroud? You've been resting
I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice unless I want to pick up like Baker.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, not a terrible idea.
Could be the diff. And yeah, thank God CD went off for 50 points last week. Gives me a chance this week.
Yeah,
W's.
there you go.
All right, chat. We got to move and groove through these NFL Week 9 previews, and then we're going to do some college football previews as well. Then we're going to hit Thursday Night Football, talking about Tennessee and Pittsburgh, and then a couple college games as well, Javon. We got your TCU Horned Frogs playing tonight. We'll talk about that game. We got Wake Forest Duke, and we got the best game of them all, South Alabama versus Troy, to close us out there. And if we have time, chat, we will craft up the weekend entries here, the Five Guys prize picks and the Hail Mary leg. If not, me and Javon will make sure we craft that up tomorrow and get it out to you. We don't want to force. We don't want to rush. We want these to hit over the weekend. But if we have time to craft or at least start crafting towards the end of the show, we will. That's why we did a 2-hour mega episode today. W's?
Yep. Let's do it.
Sure. Love it. Okay. And our guy Drippy keeps asking, Krabs, Javon, would you guys start Hopkins or Puka this week? Oof. That is so tough. We don't really know because Hopkins is playing tonight, right? And
yeah,
we're not going to know who's playing QB for Puka.
That's what makes it difficult. I mean, I would say you start Hopkins only because I don't want to be stuck with Puka and whoever the backup is for the Rams come Sunday. That would be my only concession there.
And there is no Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that's a big part of it too. No Minka. So I mean, I don't think Hopkins is going to do what he did last week against this team, against this defense on the road. But I would rather play the numbers there than wait for God knows what's going to happen in the quarterback room for the Rams Sunday.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'd say if you need more points, if you need more of a, high risk, high reward guy, maybe wait for Puka. But if you just need points, if you're projected to win, maybe you go with DeAndre Hopkins tonight. I don't think he's going to go off like he did last week, but he should be, probably looking like he's going to be Levis's favorite target, like he was last week. Okay. W's, let's keep moving and grooving. Javon, you want to do the NFL Week 9 previews and dive into some of these games? Sure. Let's start with it. W intros chat. What do we think about them apples? Love to see it. Sure. Let's start with the snooze fest. We don't want to close with this because it's the most boring games we're seeing of the NFL week. Javon, I'll get it kicked off here. I'm going first half with LA and Green Bay. I don't think Stafford's going to play just by looking at the lines. Green Bay being -3.5. No way that would be the spread of Stafford's playing, in my opinion. And I always trust the lines over any other things I'm hearing on Twitter about these guys playing or whatnot. It's got to be the Packers in this spot, but I'm taking it one step further here for the snooze fest. I'm going first half under. We're going to see a backup QB probably for the Rams. It's going to be taking him a while to get this figured out against the Packers defense, who's pretty average. And then the Packers, I mean, they're one of the worst first half teams I've ever seen in my life this season, Javon. And until that changes, I'm going to make some money and continue to fade this team and this offense in the first half. We've seen the Packers and Jordan Love come to life in the second half at times this season. They even did and tried to last week and come back from the grave, but it was too late. This team is a slow starter, and against the Rams defense, nothing special, but I think both teams are going to really struggle to score early in this contest, and we've seen the total drop almost 5 points from the opener. Even the first half totals dropped in this spot, and the splits look just good enough to me. We're going with the under early and no points in this Rams and Packers shit bowl between two Moose QBs probably.
With that, as long as we see Romeo Dobbs look like Calvin Johnson, we'll be all right.
Gonna need it. Hey, his yards got bumped up.
I know. That could be the difference.
Let's go.
Actually be the difference.
Yeah.
but I went full game under in Cleveland, Arizona, which the Browns defense is coming off of. I mean, they put up or gave up 24 points, so like on paper, it's not going to look as nearly as bad as it was. But they got gashed by that Seahawks offense, and it's a tough spot, obviously, going on the road. They are back at home where their defense has been significantly better, and in all likelihood, it seems like you're going to see Clayton Tune starting for this offense. I know there's Kyler rumors to keep an eye on that as far as the line goes, but still laying 8, just like you said on the other side of the game, or the other game that you mentioned. Until I see a line move there, I'm going to believe that this is Clayton Tune starting. So at home, they've been absolutely dominant. It's going to be cold there. It's going to be windy, good conditions for, I guess, their defense to lock in. I think it's going to be a lot of a struggle for Clayton Tune. And then on the other side, too, this Cardinals run defense is going to get gashed by Jerome Ford and this Browns offense, who they're not going to want to put P.J. Walker in positions to turn the ball over like he has the last couple of weeks. So what are they going to do? It's going to be Book of Chew with Jerome Ford the entire game. So I'm down to look at, even if the Browns offense it comes up and gashes this Cardinals secondary, I don't think the TOP is going to be there for Clayton Tune and that offense to make this game competitive necessarily. So I think this is going to be ugly. I think it's going to be slow. I think you're going to get a handful of field goals in this game with, the wind expected too. Those aren't a given either. So give me the under.
Okay. Give the kid the under. I like it. Kind of surprised you didn't go, Arizona team total under here. But I like your reasoning, right? You're going to see the Browns running the ball a ton, probably no Watson. That clock's going to be ticking the entire game. Give me an under. I'm in. All right, chat, let's change the vibes. Let's change the narrative. Let's go to 2 games. We see plenty of points. Our Mikey overs of the weekends. I see points in Indianapolis and Carolina, Javon. I see points between these 2 teams. I think the Colts are going to run wild with Moss and mainly Jonathan Taylor here against one of the worst rush defenses in football. And the same could kind of be said, with Carolina and that rushing attack. And they're coming off a nice little win outright where they covered for the first time this season. They won for the first time this season. And now they're going back home in this spot, Javon, after a nice little upset against Houston. And they welcome in the Colts. I think Carolina's offense will have a little bit newfound confidence in this weekend in this spot against the Colts. And I think the Colts and Jonathan Taylor are just going to absolutely run wild over Carolina and dominate against this moose shit rush defense. Give me points. This is one of the only totals this week moving up, probably for good reason. Give me an over between these 2 offenses.
I'm with it, 100%. I was hoping this would have been included in the Prize Picks Championship, so we could put some props from this game, squares from this game, but sadly not. I think we get some points. I'm right there with you too. I went with the one that is included in the Saints and Bears, which I think this one sneakily. First of all, I mean, the Saints defense is nowhere near as good as people tried to say they were at the beginning of the season. We've seen that the last couple weeks. Yes, games like this that we saw last week against the Colts, it was kind of a shootout type game. So it's exactly the game that their offense kind of got them into. And you saw a handful of deep shots here to Rashid Shaheed, not just from Taysom Hill, like the one in the picture in the video, but Derek Carr too, connected with him on a couple of long deep balls there. But I think their offense is starting to get going a little bit, and not get going in the sense that it's just getting better and better, but they're finding what works against bad defenses. So like the Bears, pretty obviously a bad defense and one that's going to challenge them over the middle of the field and over the top a little more, which has been exactly what you want for that team. So like I think Derek Carr is going to have a pretty solid day. Hopefully Kamara does not have all that of a day, but I think it's going to be more on the wide receiving cores. But on the other side too, like I look at this game and I see Saints climbing up to 8.5, and I know this is a Bears team who just got waxed by the Chargers, who have been terrible in prime time. I don't trust the Saints offense to be a team to really blow anybody out still, as good as they've looked the last couple of weeks. So what does this tell me? Tyson Bagent and the boys are going to hang a little bit. I think it's going to be a back and forth game offensively. So I think we get a ton of points early and often. A couple big plays would help that.
Okay, a couple big plays, hopefully resulting in some tutties. Sure. As long as Kamara's staying out of the end zone or not doing too much. I guess he can get in the end zone, but some people probably do have his fantasy score.
Yeah.
We're going to need to
some
relax.
People have touchdown score too.
That is true.
Yeah, if we see this in the morning, good God, I'll be baked.
It's coming, chat. It'll be there. Don't worry. It's got to be one of the most public angles of the day. Let's keep moving and grooving here, folks. Let's go to our favorite blowouts. Our favorite, you could call it, of the NFL weekend. I've got the Eagles here, and some could say this is not really a crabs type play. I don't know. I feel like you could probably argue both ways. I mean, yeah, the Eagles are sitting at 7-1, and they're fraudulent, I would say, and they've gotten pretty much lucky and covered almost every game this season. But you go and look at the Cowboys and what they've been doing. I mean, they're coming off of an absolute rout of the Rams, who, Javon, if they put you and me out there, we probably could have done some damage the way that CD did. I mean, it was unbelievable. The Rams defense is absolute moose. But what they were able to do last week, I think, going to face a Philly team who's going to run the living heck out of the ball in the spot, in my opinion, I think it's going to be like a hard-nosed, game, low-scoring, grounded pound type, and that's going to be in Philly's favor. And I think it's a sell high spot on Dallas after they played a perfect game last week. I want to sell that, and we really haven't seen the Eagles play well in a game this entire season, in my opinion. Why not against the Dallas Cowboys, in a letdown spot coming off their best game of the year? Give me the Eagles at home. They finally look good for the first time all year.
Fair enough. We'll talk about that in a second. But I went with the Ravens -6, which this is a team that it kind of feels like you're in a buy high spot, but the only thing that's keeping me on is you're in the same situation, I guess, with the Seahawks on the other side. A lot of smart people, I mean, myself at times included, have been fading Geno and the Seahawks team early in the season, and it hasn't worked out too well. Now I guess we're finally starting to get to the point where we're like, okay, he's good. He's not at the fadeable spot. They just demolished a really good Browns defense at home in Seattle. Now they're going on the road into Baltimore, where this team is really, really rolling. And you're going to see a Lamar game, which is why we took him in the entry. The Seahawks run defense has been really good, so it's going to force Lamar to have to use his arm, and those are the games that I trust him the most, strangely enough. So I think he explodes. I think the wide receiving core has a really, really big day, and I think they stomp all over the Seahawks team. And I think after you see the Seahawks demolish one of the best defenses in the NFL, there's a reason why you're getting 6 points, almost a touchdown for them when they go on the road against the Ravens. So I think this is a big statement game for Lamar and the boys.
Okay, I hope you're right. We've seen that spread trickle up to 6. I think it opened up around 3 last week. My goodness.
Yeah,
should see the Ravens with a legacy performance.
A lot of Odell unders in the tournament entry, yeah.
Yeah, kind of weird. Interesting.
Yeah. Is the chart red? Like, has he been not hitting it? I was confused. I was confused on the reason.
So, I mean, no, he's coming off a goose egg. Yeah. But before that, I mean, he smacked this in 3 of 4 before that. Kind of weird. Maybe just some spike fades out there. And rumor has it we might have a boots on ground appearance here. That could be perfect. We need that.
That could be exactly what we need.
Boots will be on ground.
Boots, you're going to be in there? Sure.
Yeah, I'll be there 8 a.m. tailgating.
It's going to be a good day. Should. Hold it down. Okay.
Yeah, hold it down at the bank.
At the bank. Catch you outside. Love it, Boots. Let's fucking go. Yeah, they're up to -6. They're going to win this game. I was thinking about maybe parlaying Baltimore with Troy tonight on the ML, but it might not need to be a parlay. It might not need to be a 2-piece here. And we'll talk about that more down the line. But, Javon, I like both these plays. I know you don't like the Eagles. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Let's go ahead and pivot and talk about some upsets, Javon. Why not us? I've got a play that I absolutely love. It's a dog this weekend, but I'll let you it looks like these got mixed up.
Yeah, switched.
Oh, man, these got mixed up. Dang it. Yeah, that looks dumb. That's okay, though. Guys, I'm on the Bills. Okay, do not be fooled. Do not be confused because I just pitched the Eagles on the last graphic. I'm on the Bills in this spot, +2. Guys, the vibes around the Bills are still not great, and they really shouldn't be. Last week, they were looking great and covering the whole game, and next thing you know, Mima shows up in Buffalo. Javon were there, boots on grounds, and they don't even cover. Unbelievable. This team hasn't covered in over a month. And then you look at the Bengals, what they've done recently the last 3 weeks. I mean, they've won outright and won 3 great games. They just destroyed the best team in football, the 49ers, last week. Absolutely annihilated them when they were +4.5 dogs. This team is rolling. People are talking about Joe Burrow, the Bengals being back. Personally, I think it's going to be a Joe Mixon game if anyone's doing anything for Cincy in this spot against that rush defense. But it's got to be the Bills because nobody still believes in them, and everybody's hopping back on the freaking Bengals train. They're very public. This is the least public you'll see the Bills all year, and I'll be buying low on them and selling high on the Bengals here at home. Go ahead and give me Buffalo. You're probably not going to need the points, but I'll take them for now. +2. Book it.
Fair enough. I'm right with you.
I think we got LC in chat. Texas Rangers fans. I can't hear you. Let's go. LC looking like Stephen A. Smith out there geeking me with that video last night. I mean, just the same mannerisms. It was hysterical.
Literally Stephen A.
I literally thought it was Stephen A. Lauren. Yeah, it was insane. Hilarious. F them snakes. Yeah, it was never the snakes, Lauren. Talk your shit. You deserve it. All right. W's. Good for you to get a ring. I'm happy for you. There's no better feeling and seeing your if you're a baseball fan, baseball guy, baseball girl, whatever, seeing your team win, seeing one go through the hoop, it's just different. It really is. So W's, Lauren, you better be at that parade tomorrow. Oh, you're not going to be able to.
Can't.
You're down in Atlanta. Okay. Never mind. Postpone the parade for Lauren. All right. We need to run it when she's back. W's. All right. What do you got, Javon? Looks like you had the Cowboys.
Yeah. Speaking of Stephen A. Smith, I'm going to buy – I don't think it's buying high on the Cowboys because they haven't looked good on the road yet this season. Like the road games they have had, the only good road performance you could say they've had was against the Giants week 1, which everybody knows how that's kind of looked in retrospect now. But other than that, they went on the road, got upset by the Cardinals. They went on the road, got demolished by the 49ers. They went on the road in an ugly game they really shouldn't have won by 3 against the Chargers. So, like, they haven't had a really complete performance since week 1. So coming off of that game, I'm willing to buy in and say if this team is starting to put it together offensively and even against a really potent rushing attack from the Eagles, I really don't think many's giving the Cowboys a chance to go into Philly and win this game. So I'll be the guy. Give me Cowboys +3. They always pull one random road upset out of their ass, and I think it's this weekend against an Eagles team that is not as good as everybody thinks they are.
I do agree with you there. Definitely not as good as people think they are. But I don't know if I could do it buying high, I guess you could say, or even buying low still with the Cowboys. I don't know, but
yeah,
after that win,
Cowboys have to the public, they have Dolphin syndrome because they haven't beat a good team. The only like we're saying in chat here, the one time they were in prime time against a good team, they lost by 32. And other than that, who have they played? So like I'm willing to buy in now. And
also, people just hate Dak Prescott. They think he's the worst quarterback of all time.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably throwing a pick, but
dude, no picks.
He's probably throwing a pick.
No picks. Is he up there for a pick?
Probably not. There's no chance the juice is. He's probably got to be heavy juice the over.
Yeah, chat. The picture's wrong on this. Okay, I'm on the Bills. Javon is on the boys. All right, I'm actually on the Eagles to make you a little more confused. I'm actually on the Eagles -3. Okay. Yep, that's okay though. Our guy Daniel makes enough fire graphics. He gets a break. Let's keep moving here, Javon. We got plenty to go over. We're still going to do the college football preview and no BTL tomorrow. Let's keep moving. We've got our, meat on head plays? Or do we want to touch on the prize pick squares?
I mean, we can touch briefly. I feel like everybody knows what's up with those.
Well, I think we want to just show the people maybe our little entry we crafted up and talk about these real quick. Guys, if you haven't joined the team, the link is in the chat. Hurry up, go, go, go. It takes literally 30 seconds to join. You click the link right here, okay, and you put your email in associated with your prize picks, and you click vote for Booking with Trent, and you go about your day. It literally takes 30 seconds, and we're going to win you guys a freaking entry to win $2,000, a free entry. Okay, we're going to do it. All right, chat. Who else is getting this surgical? We do this for a living. No excuses, okay? Join our team. Why not? And that's our entry up there if you're looking for squares this weekend. Instead of doing prize picks, meat on tape squares, we just figured we'd show you guys this entry because they're by far our favorite squares right now for the weekend. W's. All right, let's go to meat on tape. Let's talk about our 2 favorite plays of the NFL weekends. Javon, you're going with your Bucs. I need to hear about this. Let's go with that play.
I think the book is out on C.J. Stroud. It's not just the matchups over the last couple weeks as why this offense has looked lackluster and C.J. Stroud hasn't looked as good as he did early in the season. I think the book is out. You see teams mixing up coverages. You see them hiding coverages and disguising them, and he can't figure it out post-snap. He can only make pre-snap reads, and that's a problem. So, like, the one spot, I am a massive, massive Todd Bowles hater, but the one spot where he is very, very good is at doing just that. Creating looks against quarterbacks that can't figure out post-snap reads, sending blitzes that they can't identify, and it confuses the living shit out of quarterbacks, especially young quarterbacks. So I think he's going to develop a defensive game plan that is going to confuse the shit out of C.J. Stroud. And that's why you see him in every single entry too. He's one of the common threads between every single Prize Picks World Championship entry, and his numbers are trickling down now since they came out. Todd Bowles, I trust him this weekend, and I trust this offense, to be honest with you, too, for the Bucs, which is a crazy thing to say. But I like Baker in this matchup, too, against a secondary that I think is got a little more to prove, and I think Godwin is going to have a massive day. I think Rachaad White, like you were talking about a little bit, too, I think he's going to have a bigger day than he's had in the last couple weeks. Not willing to go to the grave with that little rushing square, but the number's really high for God knows what reason. And hopefully it's because the Bucs are winning in this game. So CJ Stroud, chart going down.
Damn, stock down on CJ Stroud. Okay. And we got a Raw Mux Clam subby. Shocker. Death taxes and Raw Mux Clam sub banging. You already know the drill, chat. W's from Ron. We got a DeGen weekly rate of 44. Love to see it. W's, gents. Thanks for joining. We got back to Malik sub banging as well. 12 months. Happy 1 year, Malik. That's my guy. We got E Hill sub banging as well. We got Sagala coming in hot with a subby. Love y'all. Thanks for helping me learn how to bet. Sure. Happy to do that, my man. Hope you're not as square as the rest of the squad. Okay. W's, or the rest of the world, I guess I could say. This chat, though, is got to be the sharpest chat on earth.
Yeah.
Come on.
W chat.
The way they've been voting for the squad rides. I mean, they picked the freaking Wizards over last night. We thought that was the worst play ever. And what happens? They win. They come. The overheads. W's. All right, chat. Chiefs send them out. Yeah, why Chiefs send them out? Let me tell you guys. If I hear one more person say that Pat Mahomes is sick and that's going to have an impact on the second game, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. I'm going to lose it. Okay, and everyone's going to be buying low here on the freaking Dolphins. They love the Dolphins, which I don't understand. I mean, I guess I do a little bit with that offense, but until I see this team actually beat the Chiefs, I'm not going to be worried one bit. And we got the Chiefs coming off of probably Mahomes' worst loss of his career. First time he's lost on the road to a divisional opponent. They were -7, and they lost 24-9 in this spot. Looked terrible. Mahomes was sick. He looked like he was sick. And they just got destroyed by Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, and the Broncos. Unacceptable. Okay, what do we do after a week like that? We back them, especially after we saw Miami absolutely destroy the Patriots. They've won and covered 3 of the last 4 weeks. It's got to be the Chiefs. I don't care what the splits are saying. I don't care what the line's doing. I know it opened up Miami around +3, down to +1.5. I don't give a shit. It's got to be the Chiefs. They bounce back, and Mahomes, playing over in Germany, is going to go get it done.
Yeah, I have no thoughts on that game yet. I have no idea what I'm going to do there. But
Okay.
We'll trust you on that.
Sure. And you got your Bucks +3. Love it. Okay. Chat, take a little screenshot of these picks. All right. These are going to be your good ones, your go-tos for the weekend. We're going to hop into college football previews. All right. We got plenty of time today. This is why we started BTL early, folks. We'd be starting up right now. If we didn't start up early, we got plenty of time. We'll do college football weekend previews now, and then we'll do Thursday night football, NFL, and college going over plays for today. I'm sure we'll leave some time for some NHL plays, Javon, if you want to go over any of those towards the end. And maybe we'll start crafting these entries up for the weekend. All right, squad. W's. Javon, I know you saw that Iowa State line. Yeah. Lauren, we're going to get to it.
Maybe I did.
We're going to get to it. 100%. Hate to say it, crowds. Pat's winning easy. Yeah, probably we suck. I would not be betting on the Manders this week. I'm with you. Okay. Squad ride, 1-by-1 vote, literally last second, and saved everyone from the Cade Coyotes. Whoever was the last voter is a saint. Yeah, Danny, whoever voted last actually saved the entire day.
It's facts.
Saved the entire fucking day. W's. That's what it comes down to sometimes. It's not as simple. It's not as easy as it looks. Okay? Chat, I'll tell you right now, you think it's easy to go 149, 107, and 4? It's not. Find me anyone else on earth who's doing that and keeping track of it. Nobody. And the craziest part is we're just alley-ooping your options, and you guys are slamming it down like LeBron James, picking the right squares. Plain and simple. Keep doing it. All right? W democracy, W voting. Keep fucking doing it, chat. I want to see 100 votes for the squad ride winner today. Get ready. Start prepping your brains. Get loose. Get loose. All right? Javon, let's hop into college football. Let's do the snooze fest before chat falls asleep. W's. Chat, these are 2 games we're expecting are going to be snooze fest, soaring under. Javon, interesting pick there. I'm excited to hear your pitch. Let me get my really boring one out of the way between 2 moose shit offenses here this week, Army and Air Force. Guys, I know bringing up the name Air Force is just going to trigger you guys after what they did last week or 2 weeks ago against Navy. That was disgusting. Hate to see that. I mean, how could a coach say that Larry Ayer's not going to play all week? He's going to be out for weeks, and the next thing you know, he's out there starting and plays the whole game. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't be allowed. But, chat, that was in the past. Let's find a way to make those coins back. And I got one in this spot for you. Air Force and Army. And although I do think Army covers, I'm not willing to fade this Air Force defense, which I think is one of the best defenses in the nation. And I know they haven't played a lot of teams yet, but I'll tell you what, they have been nails, this Air Force defense, and that D-line is legit. And we know Army and Air Force, these teams know each other very well. They play each other every season. They're rivals. Yeah. And just like our guy's saying in chat here with Xander, death taxes and service academies going under. Yes, sir. Although wait till you get to the next picks, you might be a little surprised. But in this spot with the Army and Air Force, 2 service academies who know each other extremely well, I think this game will be boring. I think it's going to go under. And I don't really see a world where Army doesn't cover this game either. But I think Larry Air might have his hands full a little bit with this Army defense that has some pretty damn good linebackers. Maybe they keep him in check. I know he hasn't been running as much with that knee brace out there. He is a little bit hindered, and he can't really be the main, Jalen Hurts type guy in this offense where he runs the ball a lot. He's a beast. He's still banged up. They need him out there to pass too. But I'll tell you what, this Army defense is not too shabby either. And I debated on taking the number here, but I'm just going to go with a disgusting under. Totals down from 36 to 31.5 in this game. I mean, it's going to go down to 30 by Saturday, guys. Get this in while you can. It's going to soar under. It's going to be the most boring game of the freaking day.
Yeah, I can't really give any argument for that. It's just classic gameplay from both these two teams. Service Academy unders. Can't say a thing. I did go with the FSU Pitt under, which I kind of looked at. First of all, I think the line is a little strange that this is where it's sitting, especially, right after last week, we saw Notre Dame put up 50 against Pitt, or 58 against Pitt, so way beyond this line in the first place. And FSU, you look at their schedule and you see how much of an offensive juggernaut they look like on paper, but you can look at a handful of these games, like the Virginia Tech game. They really put on a lot of points on them early in that game. There was nothing for a majority of the second and third quarters, and they got a few little explosions late. Same thing with, I guess, the Wake Forest game, which they looked dominant in the first half, nothing in the second half. Even the Duke game, which took till late for them to kind of figure it out and put up 21 in the fourth quarter with the backup quarterback in for Duke. They haven't been consistently potent on offense. And in this spot, with a potential look-ahead spot up into Miami next week, I think Pitt's actually going to be able to hang in the line of scrimmage here, especially with their offense, too. I think they're going to run the ball. I think it's going to be a little more clock control than Pitt has seen in past couple weeks. And the weird thing about Pitt is they've given up a good amount of yards through the air to, like, aerial attack offenses. Like, I kind of throw North Carolina to the side because that's just how they play. But teams like Louisville, who they upset, too, they gave up a lot of yards, but in reality, the difference in the game was they're able to hang around the line of scrimmage. So, like, a lot of these teams that really dominated them, like Notre Dame last week, it was the Audric Estime show. And with FSU, they don't give enough carries to Trey Benson for me to say that their rushing attack is just going to dominate Pitt from start to finish on the road here. So I think this is going to be one of these games that's weirdly slow to start. Maybe FSU explodes late, but it's not going to be enough, in my opinion, to go over 50.5.
Yeah, the total's already coming down. Love to see that, especially when both these teams have been over goats all season. Florida State 5-2 to the over. We're seeing Pitt 6-2 to the over this year. So W's seen that total creeping down a little bit too, especially after last week. We saw both these teams smack the over. Okay. Although Pitt really didn't help much there. Pitt's offense is
they didn't
brutal.
do anything. It's all Notre Dame.
Pitt's offense is disgusting. They're terrible. They're not going to do anything against Florida State. And maybe Florida State gets caught sleeping here a little bit on the road with a matchup against Miami next week. I like that. Yep. We move W's chats. Let's go to the Mikey over of the weekends. We talk about Service Academy unders. How about a Service Academy over from me? Crazy. Navy Temple. This might be the nastiest bet on the frickin' board this weekend, folks. We see this total up almost 5 points from the opener between Navy and Temple. What is going on? What do they know? What do the books know about this game? Because I'll tell you what, after watching Navy's offense last week with their 700 hurt quarterbacks, their interceptions, their mistakes, their terrible offense, and after Temple just got blanked last week, 0 points last week, goose egg to SMU. They lost 55-0. Disgusting. You're telling me this total deserves to be coming up 5 points with nobody on earth betting this over? Come on. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's going to get done. Give me the over between Navy and Temple. Temple's had a couple extra days to prepare, so maybe they can find a way to kind of penetrate this, Navy rush defense. It's nothing really special this season. I feel like with their DC taking over as their head coach, I expect a little bit more. And even with Air Force's banged up QB last week, we saw Larry Air and that offense have some serious success on the ground. I don't see why Temple can't do that this week. They've had a couple extra days to prepare, and maybe Navy's offense will get going for the first time all season against a moose shit Temple defense, one of the worst in FBS.
Yeah, I'm with it, especially if EJ Warner is playing, which it seems like he's on track to play. That could be huge. I mean, the defense is going to get shredded. Defense is going to get shredded. I don't think that's a question. But him coming back, give the offense some points. I went with the Georgia-Missouri over, which, to be honest with you, starts with Georgia. I think they're going to dominate this game for quite a while. I think they win this by 3 touchdowns, but I don't think it's going to be because Mizzou can't keep up on offense, because they run a scheme that is quite literally exactly built for Brady Cook. Like, they don't run any press man coverage. They run soft zone, a lot of quarters, a lot of just stuff over the top, a lot of blanket stuff. So, like, this is where Brady Cook is feasted pretty much the entire season. So, like, he's going to be in a pass-happy script. This defense for Missouri is not going to keep up against this Georgia team. They're not physical enough, in my opinion. Their quarters can't really hang with the Georgia attack. So Georgia's going to put up points. Carson Beck has been looking better and better as across the season, and they're physical across the line. So the run game is slated for a pretty good day on Georgia's side. But I think Brady Cook feast too. We didn't do, I don't think, squares for college because they're not all out yet, but I will certainly be on Brady Cook. Probably yards, but also fantasy score as well. I think he has a day slinging the ball to Luther Burden and whoever else, depending on how they defend him. But I think this is a perfect scheme for him to attack. So I think it's going to be a lot of points early and often in this game.
Okay, give me points. I'm with you. And yeah, Georgia's offense, I feel like, has gotten better as the season's gone on. They're like aging like a fine wine. Love to see it. And we got Mizzou. I mean, is Mizzou, like, where did their sports teams come from? Even their college basketball team is now good. When I grew up watching Mizzou, they were like the worst team every single season in every sport. They were terrible. Mizzou's back. I mean, Nick and Josh have to be absolutely bricked up with this team, and this is a must-win game for Mizzou. I don't think they're going to cover. I'd actually probably lean Georgia here in this spot to win and win big at home in front of that crowds, but I do not mind points in this game either. I'm with you on that W's.
Yep.
Somebody in chat said, Krabs, are you going to try to fade Georgia again this week on the spread? No, but I probably should, considering they're 1-6 against the spread this year. So if you faded them every week, you would be actually rich.
Yeah, you'd be Bezos.
You'd be rich. So, yeah, not going to fade them this week, but probably should because they never cover. All right, Dubs, let's keep moving here, Javon. We've got blowouts of the weekend in college football. I'm liking some Iowa State, and I really want to have you talk about it too. I know we'll get to it in a little bit, but Iowa State and this line, what is going on, folks? We just saw Kansas get their biggest win probably in program history. They're now ranked, and they're just absolutely on fire as a program. Again, Kansas used to suck at football. Now they're somehow good out of nowhere. Yeah, let me go ahead and fade that narrative. Let me back Iowa State, who's sneakily playing really damn good football recently. Maybe all these, all this drama, all this weird, sports betting stuff behind the scenes with Iowa State this year has made them lock in. I don't know what it is, Javon, but I feel like these guys have stepped up their game a little bit this season, especially recently. I mean, they've covered and won their last 3 games in a row, including 2 outright wins as dogs against your Horned Frogs, and against Cincinnati, who's not great, but that's still an impressive win there as a dog. This Iowa State team has impressed me, and the most important part of this game is seeing that line flip from Kansas -1 after coming off an incredible win, literally the greatest win of their entire program history against Oklahoma last week, and now they're +2.5. The hell's going on here? It's got to be the Cyclones at home. Maybe lay it with the ML, but probably not going to need to. They're going to win this game by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm with you there. We'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah. Tell me about Oregon.
Yeah, in Eugene against Cal, which Cal this entire season, they've had these big games they get up for, whether you can go back to like the start of the season against Auburn. What happened the next game? They played Idaho. It was a good FCS team, but came out, laid an egg in the first half. Next game, Washington, big game they got up for. What happened next game? They laid an egg early against Arizona State, needed a electric second half to win that one. Then what happens the next week? Oregon State, big game at home. They hung in there for a little bit, couldn't come through. Then what happens next week? They go into Rice-Eccles and they get bombed by that Utah team. So what happens now? After they just really, that was one of the biggest collapses in college football this season. Losing that game against USC at home. What happens now? You go to Eugene, you're going to get shit pumped, especially against probably a better defense that they've seen outside of Utah in that game at any point in those little bounce back spots. So I think Bo Nix is going to shred that defense, and they're not going to be able to do much on offense. I think it's going to be tough sledding for Fernando Mendoza in that offense, especially if Jaden Ott isn't at full strength, which he got nicked up towards the end of the game after the massive game he had against USC early in that game, but wasn't able to come back. And what happened? The guys who came in and replaced him fumbled at critical time. So if he's not 100% and they can't run the ball against Oregon, which they really probably won't be able to do anyway, that is going to be a 40-point game. It's going to get ugly.
Yeah, I'm in. That's a fat spread. Very telling, in my opinion. In what world is -2.5 a blowout? Can somebody help out Mello and tell him what this segment means? I can't deal with stupid today. I don't have time. We got Garrett Lambert coming in with a sub bang. Let's go, Garrett. And we got Brock coming in with a subby as well. Steelers ML tonight. Also take the over on Pitt men's basketball over wins this year in college basketball. I don't know about you, Brock, but I don't think that's a market for me, at least not in my state.
Yeah.
Have you seen win totals for the college basketball team?
I haven't seen
that's a thing.
I would have been in my duff long ago if I'd seen some of those.
I don't think that's a thing. I'll be honest with you. Okay. Let's keep moving and grooving here. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing Iowa State soon as we pivot to the meat on tape place. I don't think we got to go far. Let's take a peep at them, Goots. And I want to hear Javon Seljob for Iowa State, who, by the way, chat's saying they're very public. I don't know how public they are. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking at the splits right now, and I know it's early, and I got to refine them again because I just lost them, but they're definitely not public. If anything, I'd say they're probably a little bit sharp in this spot.
Not a little bit. You got, 82% of bets on the ML for Kansas, and then you have pretty much 50-50 on the spread, but you got 80% of money on Iowa State, so they are sharp, and they are not public. So
sure.
That's people talking out of their ass, but Iowa State is winning this football game. Kansas is coming off of, like you said, huge emotional win against Oklahoma, one of the biggest wins, probably the biggest win they've had in 10 years, really, since they've been contending at the top. They had that weird season in, I think, 2008, where they were in the top 5 for a handful, and they're number 1 briefly. They haven't had a win that big, I think, since then, especially in this little renaissance that they've had in the last couple of years. Now you get to go to Ames. Good fucking luck. They're ridiculous in Ames. And on the plus side here, this isn't just the Iowa State defense they're used to relying on. When you go into Ames against a really good offense, their offense is good now too. Rocco Beck and that offense, they figured something out. They tweaked something. Really, when they hit the point in the season, they lost the game to Ohio, which was 10-7, which wasn't because they were just bad. They had like the entire team that was sick with the flu. So they're playing sick and with like walk-ons at every level. So after that game, they got healthy. They started tweaking stuff, putting it together. And really, like right before, I forget which game was directly before the TCU game, but right before that, they started letting Rocco Beck air it out. The offensive line started playing better. The skill position players, especially that wide receiver room, really, really cleaned it up. So at home in this spot with Kansas coming off of the biggest win in their program's history in probably 10 years, there's a reason why Iowa State is -2.5. And it's because they're going to win this game, and it's because they're going to win this game handily.
Meat on 10. 2 words. Love it. Dubs, chats, Clemson +3. This is strictly a line play. It's disgusting. Nobody wants to take it. I know. But I thought Notre Dame should be laying 6.5 here, not 3. And I'll take my chances with Dabo, who gets one more chance to get his fucking annoying ass on the primetime stage to get people to talk about him. You know that's what Dabo wants. That's all he cares about is people thinking about him, people talking about him. He doesn't care about making his team better. He doesn't care about bringing in transfers or paying his players so that Clemson could be still good. All he cares about is Dabo Swinney sprinting down the fucking field before the intro first in front of everybody, running like he's on the fucking track team at Clemson like an idiot. You know Dabo's been staying up extra this week, getting ready for this game, priming up for it. And I love seeing the spread go from 4 to 3 here. Yeah, I think it's a great sign here for Clemson, who has been terrible this season. I know Klubnik is not the guy. His team has lost their last 2 games as -6 and -10 favorites to Miami and NC State. And maybe the market hasn't correctly adjusted yet to how bad Clemson really is this year. But we just saw Notre Dame spank Pitt. The week before that, we saw them spank USC. Notre Dame's looking like that Notre Dame team everybody loves and is, gassing up, saying they're good. They should be ranked, and they are. Great. But then why the heck is Clemson only getting 3 here? I don't understand it. I thought they should be getting a touchdown. I think Clemson makes this game weird. We know that's a tough place to play no matter what their record is. And I think Notre Dame does what they've always really done, and that's find a way to fold. in big moments here. And after 2 big wins, I think they fold on the road at Clemson.
Yeah, I can see that happening, especially after last year. That was a crazy little upset game in South Bend there. Wouldn't mind flipping the script here with a struggling Clemson team. They haven't loaded up everything, but they do have a Cade Klubnik 1.5 combo touchdown square up on Prize Picks, which I thought was a little strange. I don't know if I've seen that up much at all in the past handful of weeks. So could be a sign. Could be a good sign. But yeah,
love to see that.
I would definitely see if you can get a 3.5. Anybody in chat is trying to tail Clemson because I think this game is going to be low scoring and close.
Okay. Only seeing 3s floating around right now, but we'll see. Wouldn't be surprised if some more late money comes in on the Irish, right? No. W's. Chad, we cannot forget about the upset alert of the weekend. Okay, almost forgot about it. This is my favorite part of the college football segment. Yeah, give me Illinois. This is one of the nastiest bets on the board. I feel like I've said that 7 times today, but it's true. And you guys know how I bet. And after how square betting football's been the last week or two, you can't tell me that it's going to go square this weekend, Chad. This is when we win. This is when we thrive on bets like Illinois plus 2.5 in a nasty spot on the road against Minnesota's, who's coming off of 2 ginormous wins. They just beat Michigan State, and Michigan State was very sharp in that spot. They didn't come through, and Minnesota won that game very easily by 13. The week before that, Minnesota goes into Iowa and wins outright. And I know Iowa's not that good, but they were a ranked team. That's a tough place to play, and to beat that defense on the road is pretty impressive to me. But then you look at Illinois. I mean, Illinois has lost 3 of their last 4 games. They've only covered 1 time in the last month. They're coming off of, not covering against Wisconsin, a team who I don't really think is that good. But Illinois does have some recent success against Minnesota here, Javon. They have beaten them outright as dogs the last 2 times they played them. And I think they beat them outright as a dog again this week. We've seen the spread move from +4 to +2. Probably the sharpest splits on the board on Illinois this week. And I love that total moving up. I think for the first time in a while this year, I think we see Kaliamanis have a decent game here on the road and pull through a big win for Illinois. Love this sharp spot, +2.5, my favorite line to bet in college football. This is smacking. You might not even need the points.
Yeah, well, it's nasty. Well, it's nasty.
Yeah, that shit stank, don't it? Yeah.
Stinks. Give me the Wildcats in Austin on the road against Malik Murphy in that offense, which Kansas State, I can't even say sneakily because I think after the last couple of weeks we started to see it. They look amazing, and they're starting to get it together. And it's not just because, they flipped the switch and said, hey, Will Howard stopped playing like shit. No, they're using Will Howard and Avery Johnson. This is one of the first, I guess, platoon little quarterback situations that I've seen work, not even just in the Big 12, but in all of football. So I think you're going to need that this week against a really good Texas defense. Like, I think this is going to be a slugfest of a game. And I think Kansas State's defense is a lot better than people think. They were going through a rough stretch where they were dealing with a lot of injuries, kind of around that Oklahoma State game where they started to fall apart and look like shit. They got healthy the last couple of weeks, and look what happened. They put up, they gave up 3 points in 2 weeks. Granted, you're not playing the strongest offenses, whatever you want to say. Played Josh Hoover and TCU, and then Houston, which Houston's offense is pretty decent. We saw that against Texas last week or 2 weeks ago. So they're starting to put it together. Now they're going to go on the road against Malik Murphy in an offense that, not even just with him, but the overall Texas offense as a whole is one of the worst Power 5 red zone offenses in college football. And you're going up against a team where even when they were bad for a little stretch of a couple of weeks, that's where they locked in the red zone. So this is going to have to be a Malik Murphy score points in the red zone, put up touchdowns, not field goals against this Kansas State team. If you want to take control of it, I don't think he's going to do it. I think Texas falls.
You think they lose outright?
Yeah.
Wow. Holy smokes. That's going to be a crazy game. Is this just a spike bet against Lauren after we saw the Rangers just win? Are you mad? Are you tired of hearing about it?
No, I don't want Texas to lose, truth be told, because I would rather them losing makes the Big 12 championship race so much less entertaining. Like, I want them to be in the race towards the end instead of, like, if Iowa State wins this week and Texas loses, they're in the driver's seat. Same thing with, like, Oklahoma State upsetting Oklahoma. They'd be in the driver's seat, which I don't think is very fun for anybody. I want it to be Oklahoma, Texas in Arlington, not Dallas.
Right.
We need everything to fall in place, but I have my serious concerns about Texas keeping it in place this week.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I hate to chirp them because they are 7-1 and they deserve their flowers, and they've been, much better than I expected before the season. And yeah, Lauren's saying it's going to be a run game for them. Sure. She
Yeah.
doesn't blame you for the pick, but Texas defense is healthy again. Had a lot of guys out against Houston. Okay. W insight, W info. Yeah, I don't really know what to make about this game, but I feel like Kansas State is probably the right side here. It's just Texas. In big spots, we talk about it. They just don't come through. And I hate to just keep going back to that, but it's just true. And Kansas State has been clutch the last couple of years. I mean, we saw, hate to bring it up, but you guys got to the Natty, so I don't really feel bad. What happened last year in your guys' conference championship? They clutched up in a big spot. I think you could see Kansas State clutch up once again. I really like the dynamic of this team. I do.
Yeah. It's also like, I mean, looking at the total of this game, and we've seen Kansas State put up pretty much 40 points 3 weeks in a row when Texas has played any defense that, in the last couple of weeks has been pretty weak. What they do, 35 points against BYU, 31 against Houston, even 30 against Texas. Total in this game is 49.5, down a couple points from the open. So like this is going to be a game where both of these defenses are going to be good. It's going to be a field goal game, I think, at the worst, in my opinion. So like I wouldn't be shocked even if Texas wins this game and it's still a field goal game. I think it's going to be again battle in the red zone. And yes, they blitzed them last year. Absolutely blitzed them, which what happened last time a good team was out for revenge after getting blitzed last season. Oklahoma 49-0 last year. What happened this year? So Kansas State's going to be out for revenge, just like them.
Yeah, they don't forget. Yeah. I'm sure they got some guys on that team still who remember that loss. Brutal. Okay.
Yeah.
Couple things in chats, and we'll go over some honorable mentions here. We got my guy, where is he? Chiote, Crabs, Aggies +3. I like the Aggies +3. I don't know if I can get on board with it yet, but I definitely would not mind fading Ole Miss in that spot. I thought that spread was low. Crabs, if there's one chat I want you to answer, it's this one. Sparty versus Nebraska. Buy low on Sparty one more time this week. I'm in, my man. JT, I think you and me would get along very well. Would probably love enjoying a beer and watching a game together if that's the way you think. Not many people out there like us, JT. Keep on trucking. I am so with you. If I look at my little honorable mention tab here on the outline, Javon, the first team, Michigan State Spartans +3. Has to be nasty. Not happy about it, but it's probably a mandatory bet in the spots. I know Michigan State stinks. I know they don't have a coach. I don't really care. I want to keep fading Nebraska. This one's personal after last week. Maryland +8.5, I thought was an honorable mention here. I kind of like the Terps after a brutal L last week. Where they got embarrassed against Penn State with that spread moving from 12 to 8.5. I think the Terps could keep up with Penn State a little bit here at home, and they're not going to have a great home atmosphere here, Javon, but that totals at 51.5. I think we get points, and I think the Terps offense bounces back with Tua's little brother at QB, and maybe Penn State, they probably do win this game, but I think this is going to be probably their sketchiest game of the season. I had this one circled before the season with the Terps and this really good offense coming off of 3 disgusting losses. 3. I mean, Javon, this team was undefeated, and they're coming off of losses to Northwestern, Illinois, and Iowa State the last 3 weeks. I'm willing to bet that they keep this one within a touchdown against a Penn State team that just struggled to beat Indiana.
I'm with you there.
Okay. Yeah, the slate is fire, chats. The college football slate this weekend it's elite. It's better than the NFL slate.
I do have one honorable mention too, which was in the running for upset alert of the week. Another team on the road that I think is in a pretty good spot. Boise State +3 against Fresno State.
Yes.
Another team that's dealing with plenty of injuries, and they're starting to get healthy. And a Fresno State team that's been, I don't know, if you look at some of their metrics, they haven't been as dominant, I guess, as it would seem on paper. So in this spot, coming back healthy on the road here against a team that I think is a little bit fraudulent, line going 3.5 to 3. Give me Taylor Green and the boys, and probably one of the most underrated running back rooms in all of FBS football in Boise State. So give me them +3 on the road at Fresno.
Wow. Okay. Sure. Somebody in chat's telling me, Crabs, you really get Tennessee at -26.5, a 10-point jump. I got Tennessee in college basketball. -26.5. Is he talking about football in chat? Because I don't think that spread's moved. Yeah, he's thinking I locked in that football play. I'm talking about the Jim Root special.
Yeah.
Tennessee yesterday. It opened up at 26.5. Yeah, do not be fooled. Okay, that's Tennessee basketball, first play of the season for next week. Okay, laying it with the Volunteers. And let's not sleep on Arizona. I don't think I'm going to get to the counter with them either, Javon. But, I mean, that new QB taking over is absolutely electric. The Hawaiian kid from Cali who took over this offense from Deloria. And this kid's got some magic in him. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I will not be fading Arizona in this spot. No chance. Don't know if I can bet them after they've been on fire and coming off that huge win outright last week. But definitely lean Arizona. And I love Fafita. Yeah, is that how you say it? Fafita?
Yeah.
Fafita? Yeah, this kid's legit. Just watch him play. Guys, late night this weekend, watch him play if you haven't already. He's going to be the next, cool big thing in college football, in my opinion. This kid's going to take over the West Coast college football, at least. He's a star. As soon as they plugged him in, he's made things happen. Deloria Hill, he's gone. He's not seeing the field anymore. This is Fafita's team, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Do we have any takes in the big couple games before we move on away from college football? LSU,
Which
Bama,
games?
or Washington, USC?
Yeah. I don't really know what I feel about for LSU Bama. You like to play in that? I got a Washington angle, but you like
I
anything?
definitely
in Bama,
like
LSU?
some squares once they come out, because my one thing, I would love to get to the counter with Bama. The one problem is that it's no, especially after what I saw from Joe Milton last week against Alabama's defense. I think he had like 15 rushes, which, I mean, they weren't incredibly efficient. He had like 50-something yards. But if they let Jaden Daniels get out of the pocket that much, he's going to run for 400 yards. So, that is my one concession with this game, because, I do like Alabama's defense in the spot, but not in that aspect. So, I will be targeting Jaden Daniels probably. I don't know if he's going to have a rushing yard square specifically, but a fantasy score, because I think he goes crazy in that aspect anyway. I still would probably lean Bama, but I don't know that I'm going to get to the counter with that.
Okay. And, yeah, let's not sleep on LSU coming out of nowhere. This team's legit. I mean, if we could see, Daniels use his legs here, that game could get weird. Also, Daniels' Heisman odds, Javon, have been cut down by 500%. He's down to one of the top names now. And if he gets a win here on the road at Bama, you could see Daniels maybe going to the Heisman voting in person. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And yeah, chat, we're going to start going over the plays for today in a moment here. We're just wrapping up. Let's talk about Washington real quick. And luckily for you guys, it's not the Manders, it's the Huskies. Let's talk about Washington. Laying 3. I think they opened up dogs, but that might have been the look-ahead line here against USC. Gosh, man, USC, I hate this team. But I hate to say it, Javon, they haven't covered since Nam. They're 2-7 ATS this year. It's got to be the Trojans. I hate to say it, but it's got to be. It has to be the Trojans here at home, getting 3 points.
Yeah, it does. It scares me, because this seems like already the trendiest upset pick of the week, but it's USC. The one thing that's good about this matchup is USC, I would hate to back them, and not that you're really backing their defense by betting them, but I feel better doing it knowing that Washington kind of can't run the ball. It's a little bit just because they don't run the ball, but they can't do it super efficiently. So it's not like you have a Bucky Irving type run game like Oregon did going into that game, or will having going into that game, where it's just going to be super dominant from the ground and they weren't even have to rely on Michael Penix. No, it's going to be a Michael Penix offense just like you've seen all season, which, again, this USC secondary is absolute moose. And on the other side, we've seen Caleb Williams be god-awful for a couple weeks now. Now he gets to go up against, honestly, probably the worst secondary you've seen out of those last couple weeks, because I think I will stand on the fact that Washington's secondary is no better than Colorado's secondary. And if you look at the numbers, it'll tell you just exactly that. So, I would be fine going to USC. No problem.
You know what it could be, though, here, Javon? It's just a square over that's probably going to hit. It's up to 76.5, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Those haven't been hitting, though. That's the problem.
They've been hitting with USC. They hit last week with Cal. That was the squarest freaking over on the board and smacked.
Yeah. So 75-plus totals have not been profitable. Really, 70-plus have not been profitable. So I try to pick my spots.
Well, they're due. I think, gun to my head, that's probably the play I would take in this game, to be honest with you.
I could see that. My one concern, I guess, would be
these QBs
on
are
the other
elite.
side. On the other side, I'm a little worried because my thing here is if USC is going to control the ball and be effective offensively and settle Caleb Williams in, I think it's going to have to be a good bit of Marshawn Lloyd. So, like, that's not that I think USC and their offense is going to have to do that all game or really be able to do that all game. But if you're getting a little book and chew action middle of the game and not seeing points slow as much as you think, I wouldn't be surprised.
I could kill the vibes. USC 8-1 to the over this season. They've been printing overs.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we're seeing that total get up to 76.5. The books are done losing coins on USC overs. Maybe it is just the Trojans spread them. I do think they're going to cover this game. Okay. Any other games you wanted to cover before we move? How about the Hokies playing for second place in the ACC? Straight up.
Yeah, don't let Boston College get hot. They're heading up there.
Dude, they're not going anywhere. You kidding me?
Trust.
What if the Hokies pull out an upset here and beat Louisville after they destroyed Duke and held them to 0 points? Talk about a letdown spot. You welcome in the Hokies, a team that was picked to finish second to last in this conference, a team who everybody thinks stinks, a team who, if you actually play the last couple of weeks, Javon, they have gotten better every fucking week. And I was not a Brent Pry guy. I'll be honest with you. But I like the way this team is moving. I like the way they're grooving. I like the growth of Kyron Drones, the Baylor transfer, who honestly looks like a good quarterback. He legitimately looks like one of the better QBs in the ACC. I'm not even fucking around. The last month, he's been unbelievable. He's even passed pretty well. And that guy can run the living shit out of the ball. Would not be surprised if the Hokies catch Louisville sleeping after, a 60-0 win against Duke last week, 55-0 win? Don't sleep on the Hokes. They're playing their best football. 23-0? Okay, not 50. Felt like 50. Don't sleep on the Hokies, man. That's all I'm saying. They're covering that game.
I wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't mind a little stab at them.
They're covering.
Yeah.
They might not be winning, but they're covering. Louisville's going to get caught sleeping there. 13th team in the country, I freaking bet.
Yeah,
all right?
I respect it.
W's, you want to talk about some games for today? I think the people want it.
Yep, let's do it.
Sure. All right, chat. Let's talk about Tennessee and Pitt. Let's cut the shit. Let's get right to the main game, the main event. Is it the Steelers today, Javon? I mean, we saw what Will Levis was able to do in his debut last week. It was very impressive. You can't discredit it. It was. I was shocked. I didn't think we were going to see that. But they absolutely tore it up, and they had a great offensive outburst, and they won 28-23 last week against Atlanta, or in a very tough game. Very impressive. And then look at what Pitt did last week. They stunk it up. They lost 10-20. Kenny Pickett got hurt. They lost a game they probably should have won. They bitched about the refs literally all week. This team has been bitching about the refs. I hate that. I hate to see it, but they have been all on their social medias and stuff. Even the kicker was getting in on the action. I'm like, what the fuck? What penalties affected you, bro? Just keep your mouth shut and go out there and make kicks. I hate seeing that stuff. Stop whining, right? Just go out there and play better. It's so annoying. But it's got to be Pittsburgh here. You know, nobody wants to bet on this team. They've stunk it up recently. The Titans with Levis have new energy. People like that. People like betting on the new kids. You're seeing no line movement here, according to Bet Shmem G Shmem. A little bit more money here on the Steelers, and I'm going to see what the splits are showing us on the Green Book real quick. Wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing some similar stuff. We're seeing about 50% of bets and handle on the Steelers, on the spreads. The splits are a little sharper on the ML, though. 44% of bets, 62% of handle on the Green Book right now, Javon. So some bigger bets coming in on the Steelers right now on the ML. Maybe that's the play. I think that's where I would go right now. I do think Kenny Pickett and the Steelers bounce back and get a win here at home against Will Levis when everybody's gassing him up. I think that's going to be a tough defense to play against on the road, even without Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, and I can't get myself to buy into the Levis narrative, not just because he's played one game, but he is going into Pittsburgh against Mike Tomlin, which it's not just because he's Mike Tomlin, but the defenses that he kind of schemes up against are disastrous for inexperienced but also rookie quarterbacks. So like our man's saying here, the way that they play defense, he's going to have to make post-snap reads, which is I talked about that a little bit with C.J. Stroud of the Bucs, and that's one of the reasons why he's starting to struggle now these last couple weeks. Steelers are going to do the same exact thing. So coming into that, I don't think you're going to see Will Levis put in a situation where he's just slinging the ball downfield 50 times a game. Not that he did that in the first game, but had a couple of downfield shots, a couple of them to Hopkins. I think it's going to have to be more Derrick Henry, which is why I am looking more towards the under, which seems very obvious, but I think it's going to be because Derrick Henry is going to get a bulk of the work. And then on the other side, too, you're going to have Kenny Pickett who I think is going to be pretty successful against that secondary, but they haven't been nearly as explosive as they should have been throughout the season. So I think he's going to be pretty efficient, unlike the last really majority of the season. I think that's going to take time off the clock. So, I mean, I like the under. I definitely have to lean the Steelers, but that line being at 3, I would not be shocked in the slightest if it landed right there.
Now, I'm pretty sure I saw Derrick Henry get bumped down a bunch of times. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, it's not that I think he's going to be incredibly efficient. It's not like I don't think he's going to go out there and go for 100 yards, but I think he can easily get, 20 carries.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking to see what happened here with the bumps if I can find them, but
yeah, Tajay Spears
trouble there
too.
Spears does exist. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think it's it could be the Derrick Henry game, and Levis did get bumped down 1 yard, which is probably not the biggest deal. Our guy in chat saying peep the boost on the blue book. I could take a peep over there. I got the blue book open right now.
Let's take a peep.
Just take a peep. Nothing wrong with taking a peep. Let's see. Looks like we got not really seeing much here.
It's Levis 1 passing touchdown and Derrick Henry 50 rushing yards.
Ooh.
But it's not. It's a little different because it's not a FanDuel boost. It's K. Adams and Gronk boost, which those are a little different. But nevertheless, I mean, that's not a good thing to see if you're backing the Titans.
Yeah, definitely not ideal seeing that. And I'll tell you what, I can't find the freaking Derrick Henry bumps, but I swear on my life he got bumped down a lot. I know it. I got to find it, dude. It sketches me out. And maybe it'll just be the Spears game then. Maybe that's what it's telling us, and they're still going to run the heck out of the ball. I'm assuming that the Titans game plan, they're not freaking idiots, right? Mike Vrabel's their coach. He's smart. He's going to know that their QB probably is going to struggle against the Steelers and Mike Tomlin in the spots. And by the way, I can't tell you the last time the Titans have beaten the Steelers. It's been like 10 years. Somebody in chat who's a fan could probably tell me, but I swear to God, the Steelers haven't beaten or haven't lost to the Titans in like 10 years. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but the Steelers just have their number, and you got a rookie QB coming off a great performance out of nowhere. I'm willing to bet he doesn't do it again, not against this defense on the road, right, Javon? He's going to have to be making post-snap reads. Good freaking luck in your second game against the Steelers, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
With that D-line coming at you?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
It's not even just the principle of fading him after he had a really good game in his first career game. There is not many spots that I think you could put a rookie quarterback in that is worse than what Will Levis is going to be in today. Going on the road against Mike Tomlin and that defense, even without Minka Fitzpatrick, I mean, good luck. That's a really, really tough spot to be in.
Yeah. Playing against the Steelers on the road in your second game was pretty tough. I'd say maybe playing against Bill Belichick in your rookie year is probably pretty tough. Those might be the two toughest.
Yeah, there's only a handful of them out there. Yeah.
Two toughest angles for that. Okay. That got me distracted. Anybody know if Trent is on the Titans or the Steelers? Do we know? All I'm seeing is tweets about the Prize Picks comp. He's dialed. I got to tip my cap.
Yeah, he is. He's so dialed.
He's kind of dialed. Anybody get a hold of Mima? She ain't
Mima.
answering. Mima ain't writing back, though. She ain't writing back. It's got to be the Steelers for me here. I think the Titans are going to end up being a public dog, and I'll probably be on the Steelers on the ML here tonight. A couple angles I like in this game. I talked about Will Levis, less than 205.5 pass yards. That's definitely piquing my interest. Somebody else was talking about, look at Tajay Spears receiving yards. So I'm happy to take a peep at that and see what's going on there. I don't know what the heck my guy's seeing, but I'm down to look at some Spears squares. 14.5 receiving yards. That's interesting. Don't really know what's up with that. Another weird running back who's got some, backup running back who's got some weird receiving props up would be Warren here, Javon. And I wanted to bring him up to you too.
Love Jalen
Warren. I feel like Warren's about to have a day. I don't know how we want to attack this, but his rushing attempts is at 7. That's really high compared to what he's been doing. I mean, his rush receiving yards is high. His fantasy score is probably the most normal one, I'd say. But like his receiving yards, if we could pull that one up and show you, that one is whack. Absolutely whack. If you look at the chart for that. And there he is. Sure. If you look at the chart for it, we got Trent peeping up, peeping down. Looking for Mima. Where is she? Jalen Warren receiving yards, Javon. That might be the play too. What's up with these backup running backs and the receiving yards being really high? And I know for a fact Jalen Warren got bumped up for the square. I know for a fact.
Yeah, I mean he gets utilized. Both these guys get utilized kind of similar ways. With I guess you have a more workhorse back with Derrick Henry compared to Najee Harris, but I think this is a pretty good spot for Jalen Warren, especially because I think you're going to have Kenny Pickett be successful against that secondary, which I really like George Pickens, and I'm taking his over fantasy score too, partially because I think he gets in the end zone down there, but I think he has a really good matchup, and Kenny Pickett's going to be pass happy for parts of this game, but a little bit's going to be checkdowns too. So I think Jalen Warren's going to be a pretty big part of this offense, especially when they're going to need a change of pace back in the running game too, because Najee Harris is soft as baby shit, and Jalen Warren has been the most explosive back in that backfield, and they're playing a really good front seven. So, I wouldn't mind taking a stab at not just the receiving yards for Warren, but his fantasy score too, just in case we get a big run or we get to the end zone.
Trent, is that a Titans jersey we got on down there?
It's actually Derrick Henry.
Yes, indeed. Okay. He's going to be about as productive as Derrick Henry later. They're both going to have 0 yards. Yeah. Okay. Titans public dog today, huh? All right, Trent.
I never bet on the Steelers.
Yeah. And fading them usually goes well, right?
Never goes well.
This game's tough, though. I don't blame you. You got any squares that are catching your eye, Trent, in this game?
No. I've been too busy figuring out Romeo Dobbs' fucking matchup on Sunday.
Dudes, did you do a good job of selling that on the Prize Pick stream?
I did. Dude, I was up till like 3 a.m., bro, just labbing and convincing myself of our entry, and I love it.
Dude, I love it too. I'm in. I know it's not like 6 of the nastiest contrarian squares, but even the ones we squared up on, I'm okay with. I have 0 qualms with anything up there on the board. We could zoom in on the right here. It's looking pretty good.
Shelly has me keep saying Romeo when I know it's Romeo.
It's Romeo, yeah.
I know it's Romeo.
Yeah, we got Lamar, who I feel good about. We got Marquise, who I feel good about. I mean, Mikey giving out an under. Are you kidding me? We got to take that. We got Logan Thomas, who, his receiving yards did get bumped down, but I still don't see a world where he doesn't get 4 catches, and I feel like the market just hasn't adjusted to him. We saw Dobbs. Logan Thomas yards got bumped down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Dobbs receiving yards got bumped up. I know we didn't take that. That's okay. That's not going to matter. And then we got Godwin and White. I got a weird feeling we're going to get a Rashad White receiving tutty. He's been close recently.
I know, dude. And I took it in that sprint with you guys, and it didn't hit, and it would be so classic if it hit the week after.
You can't pick it up. It's coming. He literally got down on the freaking 1 yard line this weekend.
Twice. He did that in Tampa for the Falcons game, too.
Unbelievable, dude. What the hell? And then we got Gino, who's going to be running wild against that Ravens D-line this week. I'm in. I love this entry. 6-piece hold the fried chat. You guys can go in under promos on Prize Picks and tail it, but the most important thing you guys need to do is join our team, because I know there's some people in here who haven't joined the team yet. Chat, I'll give you this promise. I will hold Trent at gunpoint if I have to full fade this entry for Iraq when we get down there to Atlanta so that it hits. I will make it happen. I will. Trent, if I have to use force, I'll do it. For the betterment of the group, for the betterment of us, for the betterment of chat, getting a free $2,000 entry, I will do it.
No,
you're fading that entry. Yeah. You're going to have to.
Why did they take Kamara's rush yards off?
Whoa.
I
don't know, but somehow, some way, Kamara's got to have the worst game of his season, and we're not going to expect
down to 56.5 rushing yards on the books.
No way.
Yeah. So that's what? Wow. 5-6 yards.
Maybe the Bears D-line shows up a little bit this week. They got Montez Sweat in there. That could change things, right?
Receiving yards is down to 32.5 too.
They bumped everything down except his fantasy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Everything's been going down.
And Dobbs got bumped up on yards, and Watson got bumped down.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, honestly, massive. I know I wasn't going to convince you guys on fucking Watson less than, but that was also the look too, and I'm blown that got bumped. But that would have been a really tough sell. Either way, though, they correlate completely. They really do. It's going to be the Dobbs show. And to be honest with you, if anybody – unfortunately, I've watched Packers games over the last couple of weeks, and they fucking suck, but it's because I keep betting on them. If you watch the games, it's without a doubt that Romeo Dobbs is the number 1 receiver for Jordan Love, whether he should be or not. I know Christian Watson's got some excuses. He's been hurt all year. He's going against – zone defenses he doesn't thrive against, whatever. He's not his guy. Not yet, at least. It's the Romeo Dobbs show. It is.
Yeah.
He's got a ball. I'm hyped.
I don't want to take up all your time talking about this, but what I will say about Geno Smith rush yards is that he's had shit game, and then 20 yards. Shit game. The 20 yards coming this week.
It could be. That could be a pattern right there, folks.
Yeah.
It's like when you go look at the roulette wheel and you see 4 blacks in a row and then a red, 4 blacks in a row. What do you got to do? You go bet red. All right, grow up. Read a pattern. That could be it. That could be the difference right there, Trent. That could change everything.
Yep.
Sure.
Massive.
And she faded OBJ on his birthday, which is
it's over.
Yeah, what? I would love to know how that square got in there for her.
I mean, not gonna lie,
I respect it.
I loved the square. I was like, damn, that's fucking Surge.
Yeah, I mean, Odell stinks. I don't hate the square one bit, but like, I was shocked to see her put that in there, to be honest with you.
That's a massive nugget. Massive nugget.
Huge.
Fading him on his birthday. You're telling me OBJ, the drama king, isn't going to try to pull some shit and have the one good game of his season on his fucking birthday? He's such a me guy. You know he's already planned it. 100%. Okay. That could be the difference. Yeah, we got a lot of squares in that Ravens game, Trent. We're gonna be all eyes on the freaking Birds game.
We are.
Yeah, we got Watson getting bumped. We got Andrews getting bumped. Sure. Who's tweeting this shit? Was that you, Trent?
That's all me.
Yeah, I bet.
You can't stop thinking about this shit. I love it.
No,
bro, we're about to win this shit. I'm fucking hyped. Chat, we're going down there tomorrow. It's going to be one heck of a weekend. I'm stoked. And then, Trent, I think we're sweating out this stuff on Sunday with the rest of the contestants. It's about to be a fucking movie.
Facts.
All right. Well, you can stick around. You're always welcome. You know, we got work to do, though. We got to go over some of these college games, I think.
Keep going.
Javon, are we done with this NFL game? Have we done enough?
I think so, yeah.
How do we want to attack Jaylen Warren today? I don't think we really came to a conclusion on that.
I just think it's his fantasy score. Keep it simple.
You think you just keep it simple? He's going to be getting used today more?
Yeah, that's how I've been targeting him like secretly a couple weeks, partially because I have him on my fantasy teams and I've been stashing him / starting him when I need a bye week replacement. Fantasy score seems like the safest option. Just eliminate the rusher receiving and say, all right, we know he's going to get his catches. We know he's going to get his yards. Against a good front seven, he's probably going to have to be used a little more in the run game too, which is maybe why we see that rush attempt square up at 7 flat, which is maybe a touch high. So yeah, I don't want to get cute.
Okay. God, dude, they put up a Kenny Pickett interception square, Javon. I don't know if you saw that go up, but it's there, and it's not making me feel good. It's not making me feel good about the Steelers. I'll tell you that much. Looks like Kenny's throwing a pick.
I mean, who's taking Kenny to not throw a pick?
Well, not me anymore. Looking at that chart.
Yeah.
He's throwing a damn pick.
He ain't throwing a pick.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't think so.
Okay. Any way you wanted to attack Tajay Spears if there was a way? Is it his receiving yards?
Yeah.
That's a weird square.
Probably his receiving yards there, yeah.
Okay. Yep. Maybe Levis looking for some dink and dunks there and some pressure. Someone also mentioned Levis's rushing yards, if that's up. I don't hate that angle one bit at 10.5. I mean, he got 11 last week. I hate that it's at 10.5, but I mean, he's going to be running for his freaking life out there, Javon. And if he's making post-snap reads, he might end up just tucking the ball and running more often than not.
Goots, I got to ask how the fuck you're on the PrizePicks website because my shit don't be loading on the computer.
I don't know. It's just working.
You got to do private tab.
Well, I'm not even on a private tab. I have an ad blocker. I mean, that could be.
I know what you're talking about. I was trying to do it while we were on BTL yesterday, and I was super confused because it was just
so
black
annoying,
screen.
dude.
Yeah, the black screen. It did it to me too. But I did a incognito tab in Google Chrome Trend, and it worked.
Yeah,
so it could be that simple. Super weird.
A little Richie incognito.
Little Richie incognito. Sure.
C-Dog's POD today is Jose RBI in chat.
Dude.
Okay.
That's dumb.
Too soon. It was in more than an RBI. I bet. Chat, MLB's been done for freaking 12 hours. You guys are still chirping? Season's over. Leave J-Rom out of here. Kobe's getting involved.
Dude.
There you go, Kobe.
All right, let's talk about some of these college football games because your Horned Frogs play. And Trent, honestly, maybe we need you up here for this if you want.
Yeah, what's the play? What's the play?
I think the play is the Frogs in the over. As crazy as that sounds to be coming out of my mouth, I think it's points.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's the Frogs going against a nice little zone defense here, cover 3. We saw what they did last week with this new QB against the cover 3 with BYU. They absolutely torched that defense. I think we see a similar result today. The total's up almost 10 points since this thing opened last week. We're getting points. And if you look at the Prize Picks board, a ton of angles that I wanted to talk about. I mean, Josh Hoover and this new QB, Baran Morton, their passing yards, I mean, it looks like they're about to have absolute career days today by looking at those charts and what the numbers are at today. Josh Hoover has that 1.5 passing touchdowns up there as well, which I wouldn't mind targeting either, Javon. But I want your read on this, your take. These are your Horned Frogs, both you gents.
Yeah, I mean, I love the spot for them. Like you're saying, scheme-wise, the one issue with Kansas State is kind of the same reason. Like I think they're going to clamp up Texas. Everything they run is not very conducive to the TCU offense, but Texas Tech certainly is. Even when you're going on the road against Lubbock, and the one narrative that I will certainly buy into, because this happens in locker rooms all the time in college football, like we talked about yesterday briefly. They had Kansas State blow them out 2 weeks ago. And what happened? They came out the interview. The O-lineman said they quit. They were laughing. I can tell you with 100% certainty, because I know and I've gotten texts about it, that has gotten to Sonny Dykes, and he has handled it in the last week. And it wasn't taken lightly in that locker room. So they're going to come out this week with full effort. A lot of guys who are mixing up assignments to really what should be the best version of their personnel. So I trust them going on the road here, which gladly it is Josh Hoover's second start on the road after last week against Kansas State. So Lubbock is not a very easy place to play, and I don't think it's going to be easy for them. I think we see points. I think it's back and forth, like a classic Big 12 football game. But I like Josh Hoover in the spot. Baron Morton coming back is big for that offense, but first game back, I have my questions. I think it's going to have to be more Taj Brooks in the run game instead of Baron Morton with his arm.
So you're nuking the Frogs?
Not nuking the Frogs. It's still Josh Hoover, but I liked him a lot. I think this is a big-time spot play for them.
Yeah, I like the Frogs.
Let's nuke the Frogs.
I can't decide if it's the Froggies or the over. But all I just keep seeing is the spread just keep getting smaller and smaller, man, on the TCU Horned Frogs. We're going to see some 2.5s pop up soon because the juice is loose. We might have to take the Froggies today. Yep, on the road in Lubbock. Getting 3 points here against a defense they just carved up. It's going to be just as bad. They should be able to do their job. Am I worried a little bit about your young QB making a second road start? Yeah, I am. But the Prize Picks sports tell me he's about to go off.
Didn't they just get absolutely fucking bent over backwards?
Yeah, they had a bye week to think about it.
A bye week to think about getting bent over backwards is who I want my money on.
Yeah, I mean, if Javon's saying these guys have had a tough 2 weeks of practice, as they probably should with their play recently, would definitely like to back a more motivated TCU team coming in here on the road after a disgusting 41-3 loss to Kansas State. And back-to-back, like, I know that loss to Kansas State in the freaking conference championship still stung from last year, too. I know it didn't end up mattering because you got to the Natty, and then you get spanked again by them last week, or 2 weeks ago in your last game.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised to hear that coach is fucking pissed off and making you guys work your asses off for the last 2 weeks, and he's no fun coach right now. He should be. That's good. And that's what you need. That's the team you want your coins on, right? Hungry dog runs faster. Perfect example right here with the Horned Frogs. Perfect example. Just moved to 2.5 on the offshore book, JD Ims is saying. Okay. It could be the Frogs today.
It's the Frogs.
What do you think the public plays in this game, Javon?
I mean, the public play is definitely Texas Tech, I would say.
Got to be, right?
How many people that are willing to go to the grave with TCU after they just saw them get beat by 38 against Kansas State? Kind of off that train now, I would say. I wouldn't say it's like overly public, I guess you could say.
56% of bets, 58% of handle on the green book on the spread. ML,
it's not like
pretty close to 50-50.
It's not like a lopsided play in this game. That would be Texas Tech, but I think, the more public play, I guess, in essence, would probably be the over. Not necessarily splits-wise, but I guess what people would think about this game, and I'm willing to buy into that.
Okay. Well, I want to keep moving and grooving. I want to make sure we have time to talk about all these games. And there's one that you're going to be surprised, Javon. I wasn't joking about the best game of the night being South Alabama and Troy. I've got a square in this game that I'm absolutely in love with. And it's gross. It's nasty. It looks like that shit ain't hidden. It looks like a square that I'm going to pitch on the search stream and Trent's going to roll his eyes. But it's going to smack, and it does have some football reasoning behind it. I will say, I want to fade this guy, LaDamian Webb, and his touchdown square, Javon, on South Alabama. This kid's been a stud running back for them. Obviously, you look at his chart. He's been cashing, scoring a ton on the ground here. But Javon, he's got to go on the road tonight against a nails Troy defense that is one of the better defenses in the country. Definitely one of the best group of 5 defenses in the country for sure. And the way they looked last week, I don't know if you watched that Troy game, but I was on them. They have so much energy, and especially at home, I don't see a world where USA is going to be able to keep up with them here in this spot. And I think it's going to be their defense, which is ranked, by the way, the 20th best rush defense in all of college football this year. They're only giving up 105 yards per game and only 3.1 yards per carry this season. They're going to limit LaDamian Webb, and he's not going to score. And I mean, just look at the square, guys. It's ridiculous.
I'm in.
Wow.
It's gross. It's gross. The guy scored like no other, but he's going against a sneaky good rush defense, Javon.
I don't even know if it's sneaky. They're just good. The only team that's really picked them apart in the run category is Kansas State. I guess you could say, which really a lot of that was through the air with Will Howard in that game early in the season. But yeah, I mean, they're good. It's not like you're just blindly fading for absolutely no reason other than the square. It makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And then also you look at Kaloon Lacey, who we know is literally Tyreek Hill 2.0, the receiver on South Alabama. I don't know what we want to do with him, but maybe they'll be relying more on Lacey. Maybe we don't want to fade that kid because he is a freak. That kid's a stud. I don't even know if I have the cojones to fade him this week, but fading LaDamian Webb, who scored 1 million touchdowns the last 5 weeks and is going against the top 20 rush defense in football on the road, I'll fade him. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, with the quarterback situation, it might not be the worst idea in the world to fade Kaloon Lacey.
Yeah.
To me,
I don't know. He's literally Tyreek Hill. If you watched him play, he's like the fastest receiver I've ever seen in my life. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what the Carter Bradley situation is because he's banged up and probably going to play hurt. So I mean, that's the thing. It's like I just don't see this offense doing much at all against Troy today.
Yeah, I don't either. They do have that Lacey touchdown square up, which kind of scares me a little bit because he hasn't really been scoring much. I thought that was kind of weird that they put that up. But if you look at his like receptions and yards and stuff, I mean, his yards looks air. His yards looks like one of the easiest plays to take on the freaking board. It looks like it's absolutely greened out. And then you look at his freaking receptions. I mean, that's at 7.5. It's higher. It's weird. It's kind of. So maybe he's getting more catches today, but not as many yards or yak. That's what those squares are telling me.
I mean, I could easily see this being a game where he gets a lot of work in the short game because they can't get anything going in the run game. So, like, the screen game is going to have to be their run game by extension, especially if you have a hurt Carter Bradley not being able to push the ball down the field or really have any sort of continuous drive.
You see that?
I do see that.
Yeah,
he's hurt. He's hurt, and this is the best defense they've faced probably all season. So I think it makes sense. But, yeah, definitely pretty indicative of what to expect.
Okay. Yeah, let's see if there's any news about Carter Bradley right now. I'm assuming that Leonard's out. I mean, we see this Wake Forest spread get cut in half right in front of our eyes right now. So I'm assuming he's going to be out. And it looks like
that's what it means, yeah.
Carter Bradley knee practiced on Monday. He's optimistic he'll play on Thursday against Troy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's going to have to play. It's probably not going to be good. And they got to go against their best defense they faced all season, for sure. For sure. And then I'm looking at the total. Is the total dropping at all in this game? It's actually up.
Yeah, it's
from
up
the
like
opener,
half a point.
Interesting. Maybe it's going to be Troy. Guys, I think South Alabama, were they up to what? +6, I think they got to, and now they're starting to creep back down to 5.5. But people forget they opened up +2.5. So still compared to the opener, Troy might be the sharp side here. I wouldn't be fading Troy. That's a team that I've watched a good amount this season, and they've got crazy energy, especially at home. If they get a lead in this game, it's going to be over. There's no way South Alabama is going to be able to come back on the road with a hurt QB. No chance. No chance. Battle for the belts. Sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a big game. Like, they're battling for this belt.
This is a big game for them. Yeah. I mean, we saw this a lot. We saw this last night. I don't know if you guys caught the end of that Akron game, but it was actually bonkers where they were playing for the wheel. Their game was the wheel. I think it was Akron versus Kent State, I believe. Mm-hmm. And they were acting like Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce out there like they just won the Super Bowl with the freaking wheel up there celebrating, as they should be. And I know it's a big deal. I'm not making fun of them. I'd be celebrating too if I was in that spot. But these games matter. These rivalry games, these conference games, now that we're getting into them, they matter. Okay, these teams fucking hate each other for no reason other than the names on the front of their jerseys. Straight up, and I love it. Okay, these teams do not like each other, and I would not be surprised if Troy smacks down South Alabama with a hurt QB and that, they're running back with that touchdown square up. That's sketch.
Yeah, definitely is.
Okay.
Definitely.
W's, any other squares in that game? / do you want to talk about Wake Forest and Duke at all?
I mean, we can if you have an angle. I don't really have much. I mean, with Duke not having whether they're going to be down to the third string quarterback, not just the second, because he's also out. So they're down to 7 from like 12.5, which makes perfect sense. I don't know if I want to buy into a bad news situation with Duke here. I'll be honest. So my coins will be far away from this game.
Yeah, I think they will be for me as well. I was initially interested in that Wake Forest line getting up to plus 13.5. I thought that was a little bit of a balloon. But now that Riley Leonard is going to be out, this is going to be a much more even game. And that would make a little too much sense for me. Obviously, I wish I got it in earlier, but did not. And now we're here, and I'm probably going to be off this game. Wake Forest is Moose, and Duke is on their third string QB, like you're saying, Javon. It's got to be no Riley Leonard confirmed with that line moving. Has to be, chats. Yeah, I'm looking on Twitter right now. It's looking 100%. Like he's not going to play. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no way Riley Leonard playing. I'm seeing some stuff that maybe the doctor didn't let him play with the messed up ankle in a short week. Okay. Dubs, chats. I don't think we have time to craft up the weekend craft sessions. Javon, what do you think? Do you think we just do this tomorrow maybe so we don't rush it?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Do you want to put it together right now? Are there enough squares up?
There's definitely no squares up. We can't do 5 guys now, but maybe we could do Hail Mary.
We could at least try. Start crafting it together, get some help from the people.
Yeah, get some ideas.
Why do you only pick from college? Dude, we just did NFL for 30 minutes before that, my man. Why do people ask the dumbest questions ever? Oh, all right. Is there surgical? Yeah, there should be a surge today. Yeah.
There is.
Dubs, do we like Taj Brooks' rush yard tonight?
Yeah, but respectfully, I have to be in love with the Texas Square to take that today.
105.5. Jesus.
Yeah, that's
Adrian Peterson?
Pretty much, yeah. That's exactly what he is.
What, dude?
But yeah, I don't want to fade TCU, not just for my own heart purposes, but we've seen a lot of these defenses come out after bye weeks and look really, really good. Now you have the narrative behind it, effort. So we'll see.
Javon, I think I might make an executive decision here and say let's go to the ice and the NBA Association.
Okay, let's go to the ice because there is definitely a play that you will have to be on today. It's just the Crabs play.
Feed me.
At heart. It's
what do we got?
The Leafs ML.
Oh, it's the Leafs still?
On the road against the Bruins. The Leafs, after the entire world was on them, and I was on an island by myself taking the Kings after Joseph Wall looked so damn good for a handful of starts now, I guess you could say. They got destroyed at home by the Kings 4-1 after this little Mickey Mouse run of looking really good. It's what they had back-to-back games. They lost an OT against the Preds game before that. Now you're going up against the unbeatable Bruins, who are, they're 8-0-1 so far this season. Their one loss was an OT home loss against the Ducks, who are the luckiest team in hockey damn near right now. They get every puck luck or all the puck luck, whatever. But the Bruins have had a pretty soft schedule to start the year. They're definitely quite fraudulent. And now this line's going from plus 110 to a pick 'em against the Bruins on the road for the Leafs. So, if that isn't a Crabs play on the ice, I don't know what is. I'm going to have that play. Yeah,
well, that'll be going in the squad ride. No need to sell that anymore. No need to waste your words, Javon. I am 1,000% in. W's. We're 10-3 on ice plays and squad ride bets, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
We are. And yes, I'm very aware of the defenseman situation, Chad. It's not like this line moving isn't for a reason, but there is 100%. You can buy those in hockey.
There's always something, man. There's always some bullshit.
You can buy those in hockey. You can buy those in hockey. But
I don't know if I can buy those in hockey. Not with a nuke.
Yes. I'm telling you, listen to the Surge stream, and you will 100% still be in on it. Because this is an unbeatable Bruins team, injuries or not. Nobody wants to put their coin in the Leafs after they just sold the entire world against the lowly Kings this week. Which is not really low. They're actually really good.
They lost that game 4-1. Jesus.
Yeah, the Kings are good. People don't want to admit that. But that's a tough situation for them to be in. And after that public spot, got to put coin in the Leafs today.
Okay. I'm in. Leaf squad ride. That could be the play chats. We will still vote on it. This is still a W democracy, like we talked about earlier. Okay. Can't just be giving out free squad rides, but that'll definitely be in there. Fruity said Ducks are better. Fruity, cut the shit, man. Are we nuking the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight or what, dude? That's all I need to hear from you right now. Fruity, please confirm. Please confirm. Please. We got some subbies. We got Jake Engelbart coming in hot with a subby. We got Big Matty Mark coming in with a subby. Let's win today, boys. Let's go. W's. We got Luke Bradley, 7M, coming in hot with a sub bang. 11 months. That's my lucky number. Love to see it. Fruity saying, I faded the fuck out of the Bruins. Let's fucking go. Vibes are up. We're getting sub bangs. We're getting Fruity confirmation. Love to see it, gents. Love to see it. Let's keep moving and grooving. The vibes are up. We're hitting bets. We're coming off a squad ride W. And we're getting close to crafting up another one. But Javon, take us through the rest of the ice. Any other plays looking at you funny? I'm definitely in on Toronto. I'm good with that.
I do have one that I'll be taking, which is very, very nasty. And shockingly, the way that everybody talks about this team, I was shocked, or I am surprised that I haven't bet them more just for the sake of being nasty. But tonight I actually like it. The Sharks plus 1.5 tonight at home against the Canucks. They're probably pretty easily at this point the worst team in hockey. It's not even close, but they've played pretty much every single playoff team in existence. They've had a murderer's row to start the season. So, while they are bad, they're 0-8-1. There's not as nearly a big a discrepancy as it may seem because they've played all the best teams in the league. And their offense has been dormant. They're going up against the Canucks team that you're probably buying at their highest point here. They've looked really, really good. A handful of those guys on the top line. But tonight, I think they at the very least keep this one close. And I think this game gets weird at the end. So I'm taking the plus 1.5 because I wouldn't be shocked if this is one that sneaks into OT. I think it's going to be really close. I think we actually get a decent Kaapo Kähkönen performance for once because I believe he's confirmed. So give me the Sharks, plus 1.5, late night tuck in.
So today on the ice, we're fading a defeated team, and we are betting on the 0-8 team. Nice.
Yeah, well, the Bruins lost one. It's just an OT loss, no regulation losses. But yes, we're taking the Sharks plus 1.5.
Okay.
Hopefully you get first one today.
Wouldn't want it any other way. Okay. I have Sharks season ticket, you fucker. You tell me I have to go to this game? Matt, why do you have Sharks season tickets, brother? What?
That's actually a crazy play.
You're telling me you're going to those games, Matt? You're going to multiple games a week, or at least a game a week, watching that team?
That's actually
I'll be impressed.
Insane
wow.
Asylum.
Yeah, seriously, lock them up. Okay. Dubs, chats. I don't have much in Wake Forest Duke, and we've already kind of wrapped up football. Javon's taking us through the ice plays. Any Caps love today?
I looked at them briefly. Can't do it, though. The only one that I really considered elsewhere was the Jets, but I really only want to fade one team that's been ridiculously lucky and damn near undefeated to start the season, and I picked the Bruins. So VGK can have their way today, and when I don't take it and the Jets win 6-1, I'll be in piss. But go to bed with the Leafs instead of Vegas or instead of the Jets today.
Sure. Okay. And then what about the NBA? Do we dare take a look over there to the association, Javon? We got a nice little Rockets ML hit last night. Had a nice little Wizards over. Death Taxes, Ron Mux Clam, and Wizards overs. Paying the bills. Those are 4 constants that we know. Not really loving anything today. Only 4 games. I took a peep earlier. Maybe the Pistons on the spreads if I had to take something on one of these games, or maybe the under in that game. But besides that, not really loving much here. Do you see anything you like?
Suns coming off of this is a back-to-back game in the same location where we targeted this a lot last season, kind of zigzagging when you see a line that opens up wider than it did the first game, and you look at the result of last game, which was that miracle collapse comeback with KD not boxing out Wemby, and they tied the game or whatever, and then took the lead on the next play off the steal by Keldon Johnson. So miracle ending. And now the line is fatter than it was in that game in the first place and rising up to 8.5. So I'm taking a stab at the Suns. Yes, you probably have a little different circumstances in terms of personnel, but the way that whole game went, I think is what you're going to see more towards the end of this one. So I think this is a blowout spot on the back-to-back.
Yeah.
Not literally because of days, but back-to-back games in this exact same game in Phoenix.
Yeah. I mean, they just lost outright as -7 favorites last night, right, in the spot, and now they're -8.5, opened up -7 in the spot. So I'm with you. I like it. I'm going to see what the splits are telling us in this game. I'm assuming that the Suns are probably still going to be public because they're the Suns playing against the Spurs. Yeah, 63% of bets, 83% of handle on the spread on the green book. Sheesh. Those are some fatty bets coming in on the Suns. Maybe they are sharp. Okay. I'm in. I could get behind a little Suns love. Maybe you even get really weird and you take the Suns ML with Troy ML in college football. That's a sicko move.
Nasty.
That's a two-teamer dreamer that I could get behind that, folks. Don't sleep on that two-teamer dreamer. Okay? Javon, I also think we should craft up the college football squad right on here for Saturday and get chat to vote on it. What do you think about that?
Maybe that's the one that we do.
One thing, I went 5-0 in NBA yesterday, so
Goots.
I'm hot.
Where I didn't know you were an NBA sharp. Where has this been?
I see the NBA board a lot better than most boards. I feel like my brain just understands the trends without even really being able to explain them. But like it comes to me.
Let them hang.
What do you like tonight?
What do we got?
Yeah. I definitely like the Pistons. They both played last night. They both played last night. I had the Blazers against the Pistons last night, and then the Pels +3 against the Thunder. I think this is another close game, but the Pels win, but the Pistons definitely cover.
Hell yeah.
That Raptors-Sixers game I don't like. I took the Raptors spread yesterday, but I want to stay far away from that.
Okay.
The Jazz blew out who'd they play last night? I forget, but they had a blowout last night, so I think that game's close. I kind of like the Jazz on the money line in that.
I don't know, Goods. You didn't sound too confident on that one. I have to fade that one.
That one's giving me second thoughts.
Pistons +7 is definitely my favorite.
That's the Goods donkey cock lock.
That's the Goods donkey cock lock. Yeah. And then I love the Suns as well, Javon.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, Goods. Somebody's dialed into the NBA board. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Let's go, Goods. Sure. Luke's Locks asking in chat, did I miss some TCU talk? Yeah, you did. But we like the Frogs, Luke's Locks. We like the Frogs. Okay.
We do.
Goods, you're a one player, one winner. If you had to take it there, Detroit +7?
Yeah, Pistons +7 for sure.
Okay. I'm liking that play too. I'm with you. All right. Javon, I think we probably do a little college football squad ride here. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do that now.
Yeah, we'll do that now, and then we'll do the real squad ride. But let's do the college one first. What are our favorite plays of the weekend? I feel like the Cyclones got to go in here.
Yes, Iowa State. Mandatory.
Are we taking ML? Are we taking spread? What are we doing here? I think they're -2.
Yeah, we can take the spread.
They're winning big, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Big 12, a lot of the time, unless you're dealing with like West Virginia, maybe, it's just like I trust that it'll be decided by a score rather than some crazy concoction of 2, 5, whatever in between the key numbers.
Okay. Iowa State -2.5. Guys, this is just college football squad rides. Okay, so drop your options in chat. Need to see them. Need all the help we can get from the sharpest chat on earth. Kansas State +4.5.
Kansas State, yeah. Kansas State, put them in there, as well as the over in Mizzou, Georgia. Say I like that probably a little better than Kansas State if we're picking one.
Really? Okay. We can put those two in there. Let's see. Georgia, Mizzou over 54.5. Okay. Good with that.
Ooh,
what about
line's moving? Holy shit.
What's it at now?
56.5. We're 56.
Okay.
Holy hell.
56 or 56.5?
56.5 we can put. I mean, I'm taking it regardless, but
Okay.
it's fat.
Okay.
What did you have? What did you have that you really like?
Out of all my plays, I'd say my favorite one is probably Clemson or Illinois. So you could pick between those two and put one of those in there.
I mean, might as well put both of them in. I got 3 plays in there.
We could put both in. There's also a couple other plays I like. The chat likes too. I'm seeing right now. Michigan State is one that you guys like. Boise State is one in chat you guys like that I like as well. I wouldn't mind taking Boise. Maryland plus 8.5 I like. Javon, what do you like better, Illinois or Clemson?
Probably Illinois.
Okay. I was hoping you were going to say that. Let's go Illinois plus 2.5. And then let's choose between Maryland, Michigan State, and Clemson. What do you like out of those 3? Or USC spread?
Maryland
or
Michigan
Boise.
State,
Fuck.
Oh,
We got so many college plays we like this weekend.
I mean, if I had to pick one out of those, it would probably be the bias pick of the one that I brought up in Boise.
I'm good to do Boise. I saw people in chat talking about it.
Yeah.
Wax Locks wants Boise. We're going to give him Boise. Okay. Let's do it. All right, chat. 5 plays, 5 winners. We've got Iowa State minus 2.5, Kansas State plus 4.5. We have Georgia, Mizzou over 56.5, Illinois plus 2.5, and we got Boise State plus 3. Sure. 5 plays, 5 winners for the college football squad ride. This is for Saturday, chat. Hurry up, get your votes in. Go, 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 go. And then we're going to do the BTL squad ride coming up here soon for tonight. And yeah, Goots is moving the lines, eh? Sure. He's moving. He's grooving.
Goots, professional.
Chat, hurry up, get your picks in. Go, 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 go. Hope you're right, Javon. Legacies from Pickens tonight. Yeah, do I need to start Pickens in my fantasy league tonight?
I mean, if you have to start him tonight, I assume you don't have any other choice at this point, but yes.
Well, I got a couple choices. I could start Nico Collins. I could start Pickens. I could start Pollard in the flex in this league. I could start Tank Dell, Jordan Palmer. I could start Dotson. I got a lot of options.
Yeah, well, let's just say this. If you're asking me, I will be taking Pickens fantasy, and I will be placing half a unit on an ATD for George Pickens. So I'm a Pickens believer today.
Anytime touchdown score.
Yes.
Huh. Okay. Good. I hope you're right. I'll be on the Steelers zone now. Bro isn't starting Pollard. Dude, I got fucking Kamara and Jonathan Taylor as well. I am stacked on this team. I'm thinking about making trades. I'm thinking about trading Pollard for who was it? Thinking about trading Pollard for Chris Olave. What do you think about that trade?
I need to see more out of Olave consistently.
Really?
Before we do that.
But I'm never gonna need Pollard at this point.
Yeah, I feel like you can do a little better though.
Okay. What about I don't have a tight end this week because Laporta's on a bye. What if I traded Pollard or Taylor for Zay Flowers and Dalton Kincaid?
Could make a little more sense. But how long is Dawson Knox going to be out? I don't think
3 more weeks.
Longer. Yeah.
3 more weeks. He's on the IR. But I'd be putting Laporta back in when he's back. So it wouldn't matter. But I need to get a win this week. I'm already down bad. Chad's saying no. Why can't Pollard be my flex? He can. But he's going against the number 1 defense in football this week. I don't know if I want to take that. Number 1 rush defense in the Eagles. Chat's Iowa State squad ride minus 2.5. That's what we wanted to see. Javon W's. Love to see that. Yep. Don't sell low on Pollard. I know, but I got too many RBs and I need to get a wide receiver. I need to flip one. Okay. It doesn't matter where we play the Chiefs. They're going to get the work wherever. Who said that?
Tyreek.
Really?
Yeah, Dolphins there.
All right, chat. Iowa State squad ride for Saturday, but since we're not doing BTL tomorrow because we're traveling, that's why we just did that today, and that's why we did the NFL and college football previews today. Let's go ahead and craft up the star of the show, Javon. The people need it. The squad ride for tonight. We'll put in the freaking. We'll put in Toronto. Toronto on the ice. Yeah, it's gross. I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy it's that team, but we'll do it. Okay? And I'm a little bit scared that everybody loved the pick, and I'm a little bit scared that the line moved because the Pitt defenders are out. But I'm riding. I like the play. It's hitting. Okay, we'll put that in there. Anything else you love on the ice? I know you brought up the Sharks. We want to keep that in our back pocket. And see if
we can keep that in our back pocket. We might need it, but
we might need it. Yeah, straight up. What about Pitt ML?
Down for that.
You think they win today?
Yeah.
Okay. What about TCU and the over in that game?
Yeah, probably take your pick between one of those, whichever one you like best.
I don't really know which one I like best, dudes. Like, I feel like my gut tells me the over, or my brain tells me the over, but my gut's telling me TCU with that spread still moving out. Like, that's going to close at 2.5 for no reason.
Probably is, yeah.
Do we just take the Frogs? And I feel like we go with your angle, dude. It's your team.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down to go with whatever. I think they're equally good plays, to be honest with you.
Let's go TCU spread.
Okay.
Don't tease college football wags unless you got no other options, my man. It just doesn't work. Yeah. The points aren't worth as much. They're worth nothing in this game.
Unless you're talking like a Iowa, Minnesota 30 total. It's not really worth
but like with a 60 total, like teasing this game means nothing. Those points are meaningless, respectfully.
Yeah.
100%. Okay. TCU +3. We've got Steelers ML. We got Toronto ML on the ice. What else? Do we want to go Goods POD? Oh my gosh, Detroit's down to +4.5.
Yeah, Zion just got ruled out.
Oh, dude. Now I don't want to take them. No, I don't want to take them, Goods. That's cake now.
We're in piss.
That's cake now. We can't be selling bad news, right?
Hey, some people got it at 7 before
it. Bro, this guy in chat got it at 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that shit ain't hidden, but at least you got good CLD. Sure. W's. Oh, man. You can't make it up there, Goods. Cannot make it up. Do we want to roll with these 3 plays, Javon? 3 plays, 3 winners?
I'm down to roll with these 3.
Let's do it. We'll do a quick 2-minute poll here. 3 plays, 3 winners. Toronto ML, Pitt ML, and TCU +3 will go quality over quantity today. Probably the better way to do it anyways. We got Ryan M65 coming in with a sub bang. Love to see it. We got plenty of new follows as well. Coming in hot. Love to see the new followers in here on Twitch. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure you come over to the Twitch so you can vote in the chat for the BTL Squad Ride poll. Take it every single day. We run the show. Okay, it's our prized possession. Got to tail the Squad Ride. Have no choice. Okay, and if you guys haven't freaking joined the Prize Picks team for this weekend, you must literally hate money. You must not want a free entry to win $2,000. I don't get it at this point. I don't know how you're not joining our team, how you're not already on there. Okay, join the team if you want a free entry to win 2 racks. If you hate free money, if you hate fun, I guess join someone else's team. I don't know, but it's a no-brainer to join the guys' team who we do this for a fucking living, chat. You shouldn't be picking anybody else. Join our squad. Let's go. Let's get to work. Okay? Am I drunk for being on Steelers -6.5? No, you're not drunk. You're just willing to risk it a little bit. Okay? And I hope you're not drunk. It's only 2 p.m. Eastern. Chat, get your votes in for the squad ride. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. We got no time. Wow. I thought the Leafs were going to get more respect, Javon. I'll be honest with you.
Thought so too. I'm telling you, people don't like the Leafs because they always sell. They're that team.
Yep. Sagala, no BTL research tomorrow, my man. It's a travel day. Okay. I promise we'll have plenty of content this weekend now to make up for it. All right, guys. And we'll get out cheat sheets this weekend. We'll get out all the stuff you need. Okay. We'll craft up the Hail Mary and we'll craft up the 5 guys prize pick slip, Javon, tomorrow. We'll get that out for the people. Not going to miss a beat. All right, chat. And if you haven't joined that Prize Picks team, figure it out. It takes 30 seconds. It's up here on the screen. Okay. Jack, get your votes in. Hurry up. You got 1 second. And it's going to be the Steelers on the ML. Wow. It's because Trent came on in the Titans jersey. It's really that simple.
Yeah, that was what moved the needle for sure.
That'll do it. Looks like TCU coming in third in the votes is going to be the freest play on the boards. I will be nuking that sneakily. Okay. W's chats. We'll catch you guys next week. We got a dip. Okay. Stick around for the Surge stream starting up here right now. And we'll catch you guys same time, same place next week. We'll be seeing. Peace.